celebrations of New York Knicks fans. And I must say that you guys like bring life to the actual NBA, bro. Man, I would too if my team was making the NBA finals. Damn it. And it's sure been a long time. In fact, the last time we won the NBA championship was what, 1995? Long time ago. Oh, shit.
I want to make sure we get to that video inside Radio City Music Hall.
What's up, Caitlin?
The New York Knicks have absolutely dominated in the Eastern Conference Finals. The event officials tell me the watch party at Radio City Music Hall was completely sold out with more than 5,000 fans in attendance. Tonight, the Knicks cheerleaders, special alumni, and live music took the stage to hype the crowd.
I'm 40 now. Let's go.
Damn.
How you feeling tonight?
I'm feeling amazing. Knicks in full. We brought out the brooms again, and we're ready for the finals. It don't matter who we play.
How long have you guys been Knicks fans? Oh, I never. Since you were born. We're D1 Knicks fans. Now we saw stepped up security here at Radio City Music. The official watch.
Damn, they got a whole NYPD out there.
NYPD said they would no longer support watch parties outside of Madison Square, citing rowdy crowds and 6 arrests during Game 2 on Thursday. Now the decision to hold the watch party here at Radio City did not seem to bother fans tonight. They say it's all about camaraderie. It's all about being surrounded by other Knicks fans and celebrating this historic moment. Reporting live outside of Radio City Music Hall, Addie Guajardo, CBS News, New York.
Thank you for all the excitement there at Radio City.
Man, I ain't gonna lie, man. As somebody who's a son of a father who's a Knicks fan, 'cause my dad was born in Massapequa, New York. My dad was real excited yesterday. I told him, I said, hey, so how do you feel about the New York Knicks making the NBA Finals? I know you don't really talk much about, basketball, but, now that we're on the conversation of it, and he had his Allen Houston jersey out and was sitting there smoking a cigarette, he's like, feels damn good. It's been 27 motherfucking years, and he's just smoking a cigarette with his Allen Houston jersey on. And I said, bro, I told him, I said, man, he said, our last championship was 71. We need another one, bro. It's been a minute. I said, okay. I said, look, man, low key, everyone says the Knicks are going to lose to the winner of the Spurs and the Thunder. But after watching the way that the Knicks have been sort of like dominating the Eastern Conference, I said, you know what? Not only are they more productive on sharing the ball and getting to the basket and getting other players involved, and their role players like Josh Hart stepping up, making and playing phenomenal. Outside of Ginobili, outside of Towns, outside of Brunson, they got other like playmakers on their team, and they're playing defense, man. And everyone says that the Knicks are going to go to the finals just to lose, I guess, to the Spurs and the Thunder. Now, I did have the Thunder winning again. When I filled my bracket, I had Boston coming out of the East, and I had Thunder coming out of the West. But I had Thunder beating the Celtics in 7 when I filled my bracket out when the playoffs first started. But I will admit that I think that, if you're Knicks, if I'm a Knicks fan, well, I would be rooting for San Antonio to win. And the reason why is because I think that, even though San Antonio has a good team, don't get me wrong, I'm not saying they don't. They're very capable of beating the Thunder. But at the same time, I think they lack inexperience in playoffs. Still a bunch of young guys, not too many veterans, as opposed to like on the Thunder, who's kind of been molding their team together for a while and got more of a large depth and are the defending champions. I think if you're the Knicks, I think you'd be, my opinion, I think I'd be rooting for San Antonio to come out of this series as opposed to Oklahoma City. Now, do I think the Knicks can beat the Thunder? It's a possibility. I'm not saying it can't happen. I just think that it would probably be more strategic to root for San Antonio. I mean, to see the Spurs and Thunder Spurs and Knicks, in a rematch of the 99 NBA Finals. And I can name the starting five. I want to believe I can name it for the Knicks. I'm going to say Patrick Ewing, Marcus Camby, Latrell Sprewell. Was it Marcus Camby? I might be wrong. I think it's Ewing, Camby, Sprewell, Allen Houston, and I want to say Charlie Ward. But I might be wrong on that one. I might be wrong on the power forward, too. I don't remember. Was it Kurt Thomas, or was he off the bench? Damn, it's been so long. For Spurs, David Robinson, Tim Duncan. Who was a small forward? I know Mario Elie was the shooting guard, and Avery Johnson was point guard. I still remember who the small forward was. That's how long it's been. Last time, 27 years ago, that the Knicks went to the finals, and is it possible they could get a rematch against the Knicks? And here's the crazy part. Didn't these two meet in that little tournament cup finals? So wouldn't that be like the first time that ever happened? I mean, even though the tournament cup's only been around for 3 years, but that would be like the first, I guess. You would see like two teams matching up in both the tournament cup and in the finals. Man, let that sink in. Let's go ahead and see some other videos, man. There's guys doing all types of shit, man, hanging on poles and all types of stuff. These are shorts. Look, this guy's hanging on is that like a little midget or something? Damn. I got midgets jumping off the flagpole now. 7th Avenue in fashion. Look at that. They ripped the whole gate off. Damn, what are they doing with that guardrail? I'm not going to lie. These Knicks fans brings a lot of energy to the table. And I like, they bring a lot of energy to the table. I like this shit. No. Well, that was 3 years ago, but it's still the principle of the manner. That video was 3 years ago. But still, man, it's just cool to see like Knicks fans are all happy and celebrating and shit. I like it, man. I like it. I like the, how they're, everybody talks about like the celebrities that go to the Lakers games, but they it looks like they're kind of like bored and not really too much involved in the game. But you go to New York, you see like Ben Stiller on the front row, and who's that one comedian that's always on the front row too? I can't think of his name. Wasn't he in? He played in the first Sunday with Ice Cube. I can't think of his name. God damn it, his name doesn't come to mind. But man, I'm telling you. Even the celebrities, they get like all into the whole like hype of pushing. You got Spike Lee, of course, and it's just real cool, man. Like just the Knicks fans, they bring so much excitement to the game, and like I haven't seen this from any other fan base, at least in the playoffs. And I feel like the Knicks fans are just crazy. I gotta love it. I like the energy, and a lot of people, they like to. Sort of kind of like hate on Knicks fans in a sense because they think they're like going overboard with everything. But I mean, hell, if you haven't won a championship, if you haven't been to a finals in 27 years, you haven't won a championship way longer than that, dude, you're going to fucking go ape shit, man. And just Knicks fans, they bring a lot of energy because The playoffs were exciting, but there were moments where I was kind of a little bored and not really like too much excited. I guess in terms of the playoffs, it kind of got a little dull. First round, I thought was kind of a little boringish. Other than maybe a few games, and then you just sort of like see how these Knicks fans are so freaking hyped, dude. I love it. I'd say Knicks fans, hey man, keep doing your thing, man, and keep. What do y'all think y'all's chances are playing against the Spurs OKC winner? I guess, curious to know, like, what do you think y'all's chances are going against the winner out of Thunder and Spurs? Is there a particular opponent you guys want to play? Are y'all? Is there anyone in particular y'all want to play? Does it matter? Do y'all care? Because either way, y'all are going to be on the road. Y'all are going to be on the road regardless. So would you rather go to San Antonio or would you rather go to OKC? I mean, you ask me personally, I think it would be more strategic for New York to go to San Antonio. I think y'all could beat the Spurs. The Thunder, it's going to be a little bit more tougher. The Thunder's got a lot of depth, and they got homegrown. They got Dort, SGA. Can't forget about SGA, Chet Holmgren. They got a whole Williams over there. They got a whole bunch of stars over there, and it's just they're the defending champs. They're predicted to go back to back. I mean, that's going to be a tough environment to have to go in OKC. Again, it's only just you only just got to go in there one game, but then you still got to go to New York and beat them on home, and the Thunder's good at winning on the road. That's like one thing for sure. They can win on the road. So I don't know. I kind of like a little part of me kind of wants to see if the New York Knicks are good enough to beat the Thunder, the defending champions. Why not go against the best the West has to offer? But then again, I kind of want to see the rematch against the Spurs, the 1999 matchup, and kind of see this rematch and say, okay, well, maybe the New York Knicks could kind of get their come up and beat the San Antonio Spurs on a rematch for a match that took place 27 years ago. And I'll tell you this, if New York goes against San Antonio, I think, in my opinion, they could beat the Spurs. The Thunder is still a little bit iffy. It's still a little bit, it's up in the air. I think either way, if the Knicks were to lose to the Thunder, it would at least go to 7. My personal opinion, I think the series goes to 7. But yeah, I mean, you guys have everything to celebrate for. My dad was real excited. He's like, man, the Knicks have been in the finals in 27 years, man. I'm real excited, man. I hope we can win it. I said, well, yeah, I got to play the Thunder Spurs winner. He said, I want the Spurs. I want my rematch against them from 99. I was like, oh. Well, the Thunder and Spurs play tonight. Tonight is the big game 5, and of course, the winner goes up 3-2. Now, of course, the Thunder do have the home court advantage. It's really a best of 3 at this point, so at least the Knicks have the advantage of resting for possibly the next, week before they even have to play their first game. Okay, so here's my question for you guys. Who do you got tonight out of Spurs and Thunder, game 5, the big games in OKC? Who do you guys have winning tonight? I'm just curious to know. Just type in the comments who y'all think's going to win. Who do you got for game 5? Who do you have winning this series? Does it go to 7? Now, I think it's going to be an interesting 7-game series between the Thunder and the Spurs. I think the Thunder edged the Spurs by 1 game. I think they end up taking it in 7. But if San Antonio comes in tonight and they win a big game 5 in OKC, possibly could it go to San Antonio for the shutout? I feel like this is really like a must win for OKC, because if they go back to San Antonio down 3-2, I think the Spurs actually can take them in 6. So game 5 is going to be very interesting tonight. I hope you guys watch the game. I'm going to be definitely watching it later. I ain't going to have shit to do. I'm just going to be, it's my off day. So I'm just going to sit and watch a little bit of movies, And I'm gonna watch a little bit of movies. I'm gonna enjoy myself, and it's just I'll tell it to you like this, Knicks fans. It's kind of unfortunate that you guys didn't win a chip with Ewan, Allen Houston, Spreewell. Those guys all deserved a chip. I think you guys should have won in '99, in my opinion. I know y'all came in as the 8 seed. Y'all beat a lot of upper seeds. That epic round one matchup against the Miami Heat, which, what was that tip-in shot? Was that by Allen Houston, by the way? I want to say it was. That was one of the most iconic 8 seed over 1 seed upsets that in NBA history, besides, of course, the Denver Nuggets defeating the Seattle Supersonics in a game. But, man, I'm going to tell you this, man. I'm going to be honest with you. The Knicks, hands down, are very exciting to watch. And you guys bring a lot of excitement to the game. Like, hands down, the best fan base in the NBA. Like, I'm not even a Knicks fan. And it's like, I'll go to the Rockets games when the Knicks come to town or whatever. And it's just the stadium's always packed with Knicks fans. It's like everywhere you go, they're everywhere. You can't get rid of them, right? It's like Cowboys fans. They're just everywhere you go, it seems like. And Knicks fans are just, they're there. They're everywhere, dude. Y'all go to Cleveland. Y'all went to fucking Philly. Y'all went to Atlanta. I mean, you guys travel, man. I'll give you that. You travel. You go to the games. You root for your team. And just the energy you guys bring, I love that shit. Even though I know that, people kind of play it as like, oh, y'all are acting like out of line or whatever. But I don't really see it like that. I think the New York Knicks fans, they bring a lot of energy to what was kind of like a still playoffs. Don't get me wrong. I mean, I'm not going to say there weren't exciting games, but it's just the playoffs were kind of still, and Knicks fans watching their celebrations after the games, they really take it to another level. Like, you see any other NBA team that wins, and their fans don't even act like that, bro. I mean, maybe a little celebration, cheers and stuff, but not as popping as what the Knicks fans do after a New York win. And it's just exciting to watch. You guys are really behind your team. Y'all got like a nice little arena music. Your celebrities really all in for the Knicks. They're just pumping you guys up. Man, I'm not going to lie. You guys have won 11 in a row now. And it's you guys are fun and exciting to watch. And what I look for most is after the Knicks win, I go and I watch the celebrations. And you guys, you turn it up a notch, man. You guys know how to party, man. And I'm not gonna lie, where the city is bright, the lights are shining, and the pressure's on for you to win in an environment like New York versus in Houston. The light's not really shining like that. I will say that the New York Knicks, you guys are very exciting to watch, man. Like, I really enjoy watching the fans in New York, really just in that New York accent. I don't know where y'all get it from, how it was developed. I think it's the coolest shit in the world. Watching you guys. Watching you guys talk with that New York accent, I just think it's really cool. Like the a lot of people say bad things about New York, like they do California, but I want to say that like the fans there, y'all are just pumped up, excited. New York's still one of probably the greatest places to visit. I mean, y'all are hosting the World Cup Championship game there too, MetLife for the World Cup Championship, July 19th, and at what is it, MetLife Stadium? So yeah, I mean. I'm rooting for you guys. I kind of low key am going to root for the underdog. I hope the New York Knicks win the NBA Finals. It's going to be a little hard because, like I said, San Antonio's no joke, and the Thunder are still the defending champions, so they are going to have a lot to say in regards to, trying to defend a championship, trying to go back to back. I had the Thunder going to three-peat, actually. I got to win in this year and next year. But after watching the New York Knicks fans, I'm kind of like, man, I'm kind of low-key rooting for Madison Square Garden. I'm kind of like rooting for you guys to win and to go out there and celebrate, man. Because like I said, y'all haven't had a championship since, what was it, like 71 or some shit? That's a long time ago. Like I said, and coming from my father, who's a Knicks fan, this is a very exciting moment for him. He still got his Allen Houston jersey. He still is, hoping that the New York Knicks can win the championship. He said, man, going to the finals isn't good enough. I want to win it, and maybe this is kind of like they're sort of like comeuppance because like in '99, I felt like the Knicks should have won that year against the San Antonio Spurs. So that's why I'm kind of low key If the Spurs win tonight, I think they close out in 6 against the Thunder. If they somehow can win tonight, I think that they'll take on the Knicks in the finals. And then I think that the Knicks can beat the Spurs in a rematch. And just imagine like the media hype behind that. What, two like juggernaut franchises, and it's like, oh, the Knicks get their rematch. This is their chance to take out the Spurs. They didn't do it in '99, so they do it now. But then again, if the Thunder wins, then everyone's going to say, well, wait a minute. Well, the Thunder defending champions, they're expected to win. So now the challenge will be, can New York overcome the juggernaut OKC, the defending champions, and take down the David Goliath thing and take, Goliath down, So I think either way, the Knicks are going to have their hands full. Definitely going into the finals. I could potentially see both series going 7. But I'm low-key, I'm happy for Knicks fans, man. You guys are fun to watch. You're exciting to watch. You bring a bunch of like positive energy to the game. And I like it. I like I just like the way you guys celebrate, man. You guys, do I think y'all are a little cocky and arrogant at times? Absolutely. But at the same time, man, you guys are fun to watch. Like, you guys bring a lot of energy. Other than maybe, they recorded like a brawl that happened, I think, right here where fans were getting into it. There was like, a couple fights, but who doesn't do that? I mean, you go to a 49ers game, you see shit like that. You go to a Raiders game, you go to a Chargers game, go to a Cowboys. Hell, even the Texans games, they be having like people fighting. Usually it's predominantly alcohol involved. People are crowded around each other. And so when alcohol gets involved, and sometimes if you consume too much, it can overcloud your judgment. And when it overclouds your judgment, what tends to happen, right? You tend to butt heads, you tend to fight, right? And I think that that's what happens when you mix alcohol with fun time. Then it ends up becoming somebody fucks around and finds out, and then they start getting in fights. So other than maybe like a few guys throwing scraps or whatever, I think for the most part, most fans are casual and just want to have a good time, This was after the Cleveland win, 130-93. Man, I bet you guys were partying all night. Partying all night in New York. I like the ones where they're at the actual stadium. I'm trying to get ones where they're actually in the stadium celebrating, and they're doing the broom sweeps and everything. I mean, it's cool watching these guys celebrate, man. Look at this. You got to be so happy for them, man. Look at that, hosting the trophy. Look at that. Can't hate on them, bro. They swept the Cavs. They swept the Sixers. Those Knicks fans just invade stadiums, dude. Like, when y'all invade stadiums like y'all did in Philly, and y'all did in Atlanta, and y'all did in Cleveland, it's like being at home again. I mean, you guys are just everywhere, man, and y'all just take over stadiums, man. Like the whole, is it like a group thing y'all do or something? Like, do y'all have like a little group thing on Facebook or something where y'all just say, hey, we're going to get together. This is where we're going to meet up. This is what we're going to do. Because to me, it looks organized. Like, it looks like somebody is setting this up to where they're getting all these people, I guess, to show up on the road. Or maybe it's just coincidental. Maybe it's happening. All these people might just live in New York. Maybe some live in other parts of the country, which is possible. But I'm thinking maybe there's an organizer and a planner or something like that. And that says, hey, we're setting this up, and this is where we're going to meet up for the next meetup. Maybe like doing like a little group thing, As if so, that's fucking cool. Like I said, I've traveled before. I've been to a couple of Rockets games, like in San Antonio. We went to the playoffs and lost to the Spurs, and I want to say the 2018 season, and we lost in 6 games. I went to every game, including I took 2 buses tour buses to San Antonio for games 1 and 2. And then I took the game 5. I took a friend of mine, and we ended up going to that game. That was when we lost in the double overtime. And I went to that game and had a good time. And then we ended up losing in 6 at home against the Spurs that year. That was the second round, I believe. Not the conference finals, but the semifinals. We ended up losing that year in 2018, I believe. And then I had a good time. You know, I've been to the Rockets game when they went to Dallas the second time this year. I think January 3rd when we lost to Anthony Davis before he got traded. And lost to the Cooper Flag, who had a phenomenal game and ended up beating my Rockets. And you know, I've been to San Antonio, I've been to Dallas, I've been to a couple games there, but I've never been to any other games around the league. I think I've been to New Orleans, a Pelicans game once when the Rockets went to New Orleans way back in the day, about 7-8 years ago. But other than that, I don't really go to too many road games, but after watching these Knicks fans just traveling the way you do and like going to all these road games, it's just like kind of makes me want to do it now. It kind of makes me want to go on the road and start traveling to some road games. It seems like to me like, okay, you go to the home games, they're fun to go to, don't get me wrong, your peers, everybody's excited to go see it, but then you're like, you get bored. And you're like, okay, I've been to so many home games, man, this shit's kind of boring now. Perhaps I need to go on to some road games. And that's where the real fun starts. To traveling, to get the hotels, to book the hotels, to get the itinerary together, which basically is like things to do while you're there. If it's a playoffs, you're there 2 games. That's what, 4 or 5 day stay. So you got to figure, well, we got to do something else other than go to the game, right? How else do I occupy my time? And, you know, you got to look for things to do in the area, you know? So if you play I don't know too much to do in OKC. I'm pretty sure there's things to do over there. I've never been to OKC. But San Antonio, there's so many things to do. The Riverwalk. They got Six Flags Fiesta. You know, they got the Alamo. I mean, they got all types of places you can go to down there in San Antonio and have a blast, dude. So like I said, you know, the San Antonio's like a city within a town. That sort of makes sense. So there's a lot of stuff to do in the San Antonio, San Marcos area. So if you guys are into getting into some shit, get yourself an itinerary together if San Antonio does make the finals. And there's a bunch of things you can do in San Antonio, bro. And the first 2 games will be in San Antonio. I think June 3rd and the 6th or the 5th is games 1 and 2. So try to get down there on the 2nd and see what you can get into before you go to those games. But like I said, otherwise, New York Knicks fans are the most exciting fans in the NBA. Just the energy you guys bring is so cool. And I don't know what it is with other fan bases, but they do not bring the same energy you guys bring. It's on a whole new level. It's a whole new level between Knicks fans and the rest of the NBA. I don't know what it is. I don't know what's in y'all's punch or Kool-Aid, but it's cool. And like, you know, some people say that they try to hate on it. And I see the comments. I'll read the comments from time to time on these channels. And they'll say, oh, you know, they're cocky and arrogant. And they're loud and boisterous. And they're rude and disrespectful and arrogant, blah, blah, blah. And it's like you, maybe to a degree, like the arrogance maybe is a little true. But at the same time, they're just living the moment. You know, they're excited. They're wanting the best for their team. They've seen so many years of not being able to get to this stage of the game, 27 years in the making. So many things were invented after that. Like, I don't even think there were cell phones back in that time, you know? So Knicks fans were waiting for this for a long time. And I think that this is exciting. I think it's fun to watch these guys, man. It's really fun to watch you guys. And seeing as my dad is a Knicks fan, he's really excited to watch the Knicks. And he says, I hope the Knicks win this one for the finals we should have won in 94 and in 99. But she's referring to the Rockets going to 7 and also against the San Antonio Spurs, which happens to be both Texas teams. What a coincidence. So imagine they go to finals again against the same Texas team they played in 99, San Antonio. But this time they get a rematch, and maybe this time they win. So who do you guys got? Y'all got Spurs or you got Thunder for the Game 5 tonight? Because I think this game is going to be a must-win for both teams. More so for the Thunder. Not so much for San Antonio, but I think it's going to be a must-win for the Thunder. And so the last thing you want is to lose home court advantage again after you lost it the first time, losing game 1. So if you're the Thunder, you got to probably win tonight. And make sure that series goes to a game 6. And have it Thunder, going to San Antonio up 3-2. Now the pressure's on San Antonio to have to win at home. So I think, again, that this is going to be the tiebreaker. I think the winner of tonight's game will win the series. That's what I think. But the question is, who wins? Thunder or San Antonio? And that game is going to be, another 8 hours from now. So who do you guys got winning tonight? Thunder or Spurs? If you're Adams, loyal to Houston, who you got tonight? You got Spurs, you got Thunder. I guess curiosity killed the cat. Since you're already on here, why not go ahead and share me your wisdom? So you got Thunder winning tonight. Okay. Like I said, seeing as I'm from Texas, I'm kind of rooting for the Spurs because I kind of want to see the Knicks beat the Spurs. But if Thunder wins, I don't know if the Knicks can beat the Thunder. I still think that the Thunder is the team to beat. I still think that they're the kings until they get slayed. Right? So beat the man. And be the man, you got to beat the man, right? So you got to beat the Thunder. So they're the team that's got the most depth, I think, out of all 3 teams. I think so. You have San Antonio winning tonight. I got San Antonio winning in 6. Ooh, Dashy Sports. All right. So he's setting the tone. He's saying he's got San Antonio. Okay, so we got some votes in. Thunder, Spurs. I'm going to say I got Thunder to win tonight, but I think it's going to be a very close game. You have this feeling that San Antonio is going to win in 6 or 7. Dude, I mean, I wish our fans were like this loyal to Houston, that we were able to have fans celebrate the way that they do. It's just insane the way these guys celebrate. I mean, look at it. I'm going to show y'all some clips of how they get down, man. It's just, hold on, let's see.
A poll before NYPD quickly shut that down. Now, the watch party at Radio City sold out with more than 5,000 fans packed inside. There was another official watch party at Brooklyn Bowl as well. And even though NYPD pulled back support for watch parties outside of Madison Square Garden after rowdy crowds and 6 arrests during Game 2, fans said they don't care where they watch as long as they get to witness it amongst each other.
It's nice to not have to be disappointed. It feels great to be a winner. And they've been winning, 9 consecutive games now?
It's 11.
It's magic.
Oh, I can taste it like champagne on a Sunday morning, baby. It's time. It's our time now. It's our time. Let's go, baby. Let's go.
I'm feeling amazing. Knicks in 4, we brought out the brooms again, and we ready for the finals. It don't matter who we play.
You know what's cool about this? Which I'll explain in a minute. Hold on. Look at that midget jumping into the crowd. That's crazy. Man, Knicks fans know how to celebrate. I think we need to start taking notes, man. We need to start taking notes from Knicks fans on how to celebrate, bro. I'm dead ass. We need to start taking notes. Look at that. They're just invading streets and shit. Takeover. Man. Everybody does that chant, I feel like. We did that chant here in Houston. Man. I don't know, man. Y'all jumping off of like high-rising buildings. I think that's a little risky for me. I don't think I have the energy to do all that. Look, man, I don't mind flexing. I just don't want to jump off an 8-story building to prove it. You know what I mean? Kind of like jumping to your death. It's kind of like playing with death, you know, like the many faces of death. Look at Fat Joe, man. That dude, man. Going on with your bad self. Even Fat Joe's celebrating. Everybody's having their fun, man. Look, this is the one I like. Well, look at this video, guys. Watch this shit. I like this one. Man. And they even got a man in a wheelchair celebrating. I mean, these guys get down, man. These guys get down. And the whole takeover. Knicks takeover, man, just invading other people's stadiums. I'm not gonna lie, I like it. I like this shit, man. And you could just imagine that Knicks are probably gonna be invading. They're gonna be invading like other stadiums. You know what I'm saying? Like whoever wins out of Thunder and Spurs, they're gonna be deep there, bruh. Like you already know it. That's why I'm just happy for him, bro. But nonetheless, celebrate now. Get that out of your system. Drink responsibly. But just understand, you guys got a championship round to play. Winning the Eastern Conference Finals is great and all, but you still got one more series to win. Like I said, you still got to beat the winner out of San Antonio and OKC. Game 5 is tonight. So if somehow you guys win the finals, what an overwhelming feeling that will be. If you thought this celebration was great, wait till if the Knicks were to win the finals. And just it just goes to show you, like, the good thing about winning is that it doesn't happen often. That's the beauty about it. And the reason why they got so much energy, I just think that this is a life teaching. Teaches you in life that you don't always win in life. You lose more than you win in life. So when you win, it feels 30 times greater because you had to lose so much to get there. So, like, case in point, the Knicks, their last finals was 99. So 27 years, right, of coming up short. And now they're back in the finals, right? So it doesn't happen often. So when it does happen, you cherish the wins because it's hard to do. Like, my Rockets haven't won a championship since 1995. If I'm correct, that was what? 29 years ago? So somewhere around there. 29 years ago. So is my math right? Am I tripping? It's 31 years ago. So 31 years for the Rockets the last time. So it takes a long time to win in life. So when you finally win, you cherish it because you're like, this doesn't happen often, and it may never happen again. So God damn it, I'm gonna celebrate right now while I still can. And I think that's how you kind of look at it. It's just it's yeah, since '73. There you go. So like I said, it's you're masking in the moment because you never know if this will happen again. And if the Knicks win the NBA championship, the fans will have something to look forward to. And they can say, well, at least they won in my lifetime, you know. And unless you're old school and you could say you were there for the '73 finals, you know, and say, look, I was around then or whatever. I wasn't born then, but teach their own. Hey, maybe they can win. And say, hey, so for the youngsters, they'll like that shit. You know, it'll be something to look forward to, you know. Like I said, it's you don't win too much in life. You lose more than you win. So when you do win, cherish it because it takes fucking forever to do so. You hope we win it all this year. We deserve a championship. I hope you guys do. The question is, are you going to beat the Thunder Spurs winner? That's going to be the big question. Are you guys going to be able to overcome the Spurs Thunder winner? Because, you know, everybody's saying that whoever comes out the West is going to win the whole thing. And, you know, I was kind of on that hype at first, but then kind of looking back at it, I kind of respectfully disagree now. I think that the Knicks do have an opportunity to win. It's just, I think if they play San Antonio, they have a better chance. But if they play the Thunder, I think I'm not saying they can't beat the Thunder. I just think that their task is going to be a little harder because of the depth that the Thunder have. It's not going to be easy to beat OKC. Oh, yeah, see, even Alex Prime said we match up better than the Spurs. You don't want to play OKC. Oh, no, I agree. I agree. I agree. Hands down, I think if you're the New York Knicks, you're rooting against OKC. And you're almost a Spurs fan. So you kind of want to see San Antonio win. But imagine if you did play the Thunder and you beat the Thunder in the finals. Dude, that would be like a greatest accomplishment, like David taking down Goliath in the NBA finals. Like, just imagine that. Just imagine the excitement of just overtaking the Thunder, like slaying the Giant. I don't think it'll happen, but I think that it would be a cool like storyline to say, look at what the Knicks had to do to overcome, you know, the situation and ended up slaying the Giant. But nonetheless, I would love to see Spurs and Knicks. I think it makes more sense for the matchups. You know, seeing Towns versus Wemby. And then, you know, watching, you know, Jalen Brunson and Stephon Castle. And it's going to be fun. Either way, I'm sure the finals is going to be real exciting to watch. I don't think that the Knicks are just going to be some pushover team that everybody thinks, oh, well, whoever comes out the West is just going to beat the Knicks. And I'm like, nah. I think it's the rematch of the '99 finals. Yep. And you know what? I think everybody now is going to start. They're going to start looking up the Knicks Spurs finals in '99, and now all of a sudden you're going to watch those views going up. I guarantee you, go look up the Spurs Knicks finals. They'll probably whether it's a documentary or the actual full game. You'll see a lot of people probably commenting under it. It'll be kind of like a blast from the past. It'll be kind of exciting to watch, and I think that it's just kind of like a history lesson, if that makes any sense. And to me, like I said, I think the better matchup is Spurs. And if you're a Knicks fan, you probably want the Spurs to win. I think the matchup's a lot better, a lot more even. If it's against the Thunder, I'm not saying you can't beat them. It's going to be hard. It's going to be hard. So I guess if you guys are basketball fans, you're going to be glued on to the TV tonight to watch the Thunder and Spurs. And San Antonio has won in OKC, and they beat them 3 out of 4 times in the regular season. So it's possible. It's possible that the New York Knicks can go in to Thunder and win again because they've done it before. I think if anybody could beat the Thunder, it'd be the Spurs because it seems like they're kind of like their arch nemesis or their kryptonite. So I think if anybody could beat the Thunder, it would be the Spurs. Okay, Mike Brown used to be the coach with the Cavaliers twice and got his revenge. And he used to be an assistant coach with the Spurs. So imagine he beats the Spurs in the finals. Yeah, that would be sick. I could just imagine what the city of New York would be like, or like the city of New York City, and just the whole tri-state of New York would be like if the Knicks. Let me get my trash can. If the Knicks won the NBA Finals, just imagine how crazy that would be if the Knicks pull it off. If the Knicks actually win the NBA Finals. Just the whole tri-state of New York would be just on fire. You would think it was that movie like what do they call that movie with Kurt Russell that played in that like New York was like a big giant prison or some shit, or I think LA was, or New York was like Escape from New York or something. Maybe some shit like that. Like just imagine how like crazy Knicks fans would go, or just the whole state of New York. If New York pulls it off and they saw, I can just imagine my dad in the garage right now. Like I said, I went in there. I said, "Hey, your Knicks did it. They're in the back in the finals." And he's sitting there with his Allen Houston jersey with his cigarette. He's like, "They did it. The first time in a long time since '99. I'll tell you, I want the whole damn thing. I've been waiting for so fucking long." I was like, "Yeah, and that's cool, man. I hope it does happen, bro." There's all the years of disappointment and 27 years it took to get to this point. The build to get to that point. For Knicks fans to, be in this position to where they can actually be happy and win the whole thing. What do you guys think if the New York Knicks pull this off? It would be a crazy storyline to a great finish. Hey, Caitlin, I didn't realize I saw you in there. Adams Yankees cap 4262. Let's go. I'm hyped right now. Oh, shit. Cat Toyota Center at the end of March. Oh, shit. So you must be from Houston. That's what's up. Maybe you and my dad should have a beer. Y'all are both Knicks fans. I mean, like I said, I'm rooting. I'm like low key kind of rooting for the underdog because everybody's going to be rooting for San Antonio OKC. They're saying that this is the NBA Finals and that the winner of OKC Thunder is the real champion because they're just going to skate by the Eastern Conference winner. And I used to say that. They say whoever comes out of the Eastern Conference, unless if it's Boston, because I assumed that Jason Tatum was going to be healthy and was going to play. I said, okay, well, the Celtics will probably be the only like best fit, probably matchup-wise, to beat a Western Conference opponent. And then as I started looking at it, I saw the way that Knicks were dominating the Sixers and dominating the Cavs. I'm like, the Knicks actually could possibly create matchup problems for either OKC or San Antonio. I think if you're New York and you're playing OKC, I think, game one in OKC, it would probably be impeccable to try to steal a game in OKC. Of course, you got to come home, protect both games, but I think you would have to send a statement right off the bat. You'd have to do basically like what San Antonio did, where they came in OKC and just stole game one right off the bat and just stole the momentum. Like, you would have to see something along the lines of that. I think that would change the tempo of the series, just for the Knicks to just come in and take momentum away from the Thunder. Just steal game one and suck the energy out of the stadium, like right off the bat. But then again, you know what that means. That means you still got to beat OKC in a 7-game series. And that longevity of games is where it's going to start to take a toll, and plus the Thunder are capable of winning road games as well. So it's not just going to be an easy task for the Knicks to just say, oh, we'll just steal a game in OKC and, that's the end of the series because no, OKC is capable of going on the road, stealing a game in New York, tying the series up. So like I said, it's I think either way, it's going to be a good NBA Finals this year. I don't think the Knicks are getting swept. I think everybody sort of has this idea that the Eastern Conference is a joke and that they're weak and the Eastern Conference representative. I just got my haircut by my barber this morning, and he was telling me how the Knicks had an easy run. They had an easy schedule. They played nothing but weak teams, and I'm like, well, I mean, maybe to a degree, but the Sixers weren't weak. They had Embiid, they had Edgecombe, they had what's his name, Maxey, Paul George. I don't see anything weak about the Sixers. I just think if anything, the Knicks just put their foot in the brakes and kicked their ass. And then of course they play Cleveland. Cleveland was up 17. I think Cleveland was devastated after blowing that 17-point lead. I was on Moohead Radio's channel. We were talking after that game on his chat, his live chat. Now, of course, upload the video, straight upload. And I told him, I said, I think that Cleveland needed to make a statement and win game one. And that 17-point deficit, I was telling Moo, I said, not only they lose, but I don't know if they're capable of winning a game in this series. I think all the momentum was just sucked out of the building in the manner in which they did. Now, the Cavs did put up a fight in game two. I'm not saying they didn't. But it maybe a little, kind of sadly, a little bit in game three. But game three, they kind of just threw in the towel at the end. In game four, no matchup. They just completely gave up. They just completely you could read it on their faces, read it on their energy, that the Cavs were just no matchup for the Knicks. They just threw in the towel. I mean, I kind of don't really blame them. You're down 3-0, and the Knicks got just too many matchup problems for the Cavs. Too many shooters, playing good defense. I think the New York Knicks just knew that they had the Cavs beat. They just stole the energy. And James Harden, he's a good regular season player, but in the playoffs, he's not really. His numbers were terrible, especially in the series against the Knicks. His numbers were bad, real bad. And maybe there's an argument that they're saying that New York and Cleveland are recruiting LeBron James, and that this isn't just for the push to an NBA title, but this is a push for recruitment for the offseason, right? Because where do stars want to go? Places where they know they have a chance to win. And if you're Cleveland, you could say, look, we got all the pieces here. We just need it. LeBron, you come here, come home on your retirement tour. Come play for the land again. And hey, look, you got James Harden, you got Donovan Mitchell, you got Evan Mobley, Max Strus, Sam Merrill, Dennis Schroeder. You got all these pieces. If we just had you, we could beat the Knicks and make the finals. And if you're New York, the Big Apple, Madison Square Garden, the lights are shining bright, right? The biggest, stage in the world. Right? So that you have to win games. And guess what ends up happening is New York will say, listen, we're in the NBA Finals, regardless of the results, with you guaranteed championship on your way out the door. Instead of your retirement tour being in the land, why don't you retire in New York where your brand name goes further, bigger probably contract, you're playing around great players, the pieces are there. All we need is you. Eastern Conference. Easier road. Right? Not too many teams in our way. And you come to New York, sign a 2-year deal. I guarantee you where LeBron goes, this will probably be his last sign deal. But I'm predicting he'll sign a 2-year deal wherever he goes. It'll be at least 2. I don't think next year's his last year, but I do think that this will probably be his last signing of any multi-year deal. Like, I think it'll be a 2-year deal wherever he goes. And then the question will be is, can he still do it after that? Because he'll be, I think LeBron is now, 41? So he'll be 42 in December. If LeBron signed with the Knicks, just imagine the demons that will come out during the summer of the NBA. Like, it would be all over headline news. LeBron going to the Big Apple and signing with the New York Knicks. Imagine the LeBron James sneaker, like a sneaker LeBron James has with the New York Knicks and their colors and the logo. I'm just throwing that out there. If he goes to the land of New York and he signs a 2-year deal with the Knicks, to me it would seem more. Because honestly, I don't think there's a reason why LeBron should stay in LA. I think honestly he should either go back to the land or go to New York. You go back to the crib or you go to New York. I think to me the lights would shine bright in New York. You know LeBron wants that 5th damn ring. Come on. Stop. He wants the 5th ring. He wants it so bad. He wants it so bad he can taste it. I think LeBron gets it with if he's smart, if you're LeBron, you would sign with the New York Knicks. I mean, it makes the most sense in terms of poker moves. It makes the most sense. You see what I'm saying? LeBron James in a uniform in Madison Square Garden. LeBron James should sign with the New York Knicks. I think it makes sense. And I think if you're LeBron, you sign a minimum of 2 years. Sign a 2-year deal with New York. I mean, you know LeBron's ego won't let him go nowhere. Because, if he still feels he could play, he's going to play. And if LeBron's in good shape, you're going to, at this stage of the game, LeBron's 41. He wants to go somewhere he has a good chance to win. What other chance does he not have than New York or Cleveland? I mean, look how far Cleveland got with just the roster they have. And then you add LeBron back? Now imagine New York. The only question is they would probably have to structure some contracts there. You got Jalen Brunson on a big contract. I don't know if Karl Anthony Towns, what his contract looks like, but and the thing is, would LeBron take less money to go to New York? Because I know he's done that a lot in the past. And he wants 50, 60 million a year to play. So does LeBron James, does he take less money to go to New York in the offseason? Like I said, they say, well, LeBron shouldn't banana boat to a team that's already got pieces, but didn't he do that with the Heat, right? Do we discredit LeBron's wins with the Heat? No. Everyone says, hey, LeBron got 4 wings, right? He's trying to chase the Michael Jordan GOAT, right? The whole chasing ring thing category. But now, it's not really can LeBron chase Jordan's 6 rings. The question is going to be is, can LeBron James win another ring? Does he have one more in him? I think if you're LeBron, you're in the 4th quarter of your career. Your career's, I'm going to say tops, if LeBron stays healthy, he's got 2 to 3 years left. Let's just say 3. So that puts him at 44 years old. He's got probably 3 years left. And that's pretty good for his age. I mean, he takes care of himself. Most people at half his age don't even take care of themselves. So where does LeBron go? I think if you want a 5th ring, you get out of the West, because the West has too many good teams. Not to discredit the East, but there's too much depth in the West. I think if you're LeBron, the only way, not Miami, hell no. I think if you're LeBron, you're either going to go to Cleveland or New York. I mean, if you want to do your retirement tour back home and retire where it all started, I think it would maybe strategically make sense. But I would say only go back to Cleveland if you know you only got 1 year left. I don't think LeBron's ego is ready to let go of him playing anywhere. So, if you're LeBron, what do I have the best chance to win? New York. Got to go to the Knicks. It's like almost a guarantee. I remember I first thought, well, maybe Golden State. Well, the problem is you got an aging Curry whose age is starting to show. He's got a lot of health issues that are crashing in. Draymond's on his way out. He's going to go somewhere. Jimmy Butler, I don't know how long he's going to be there. I don't think LeBron wants to go to Golden State. Phoenix, I've been saying that for a while. Maybe the land of the desert. I think LeBron would look good in a Suns jersey. Then there's Dallas, the Mavericks. You play with Kyrie and you play with Cooper Flag, but the problem is you don't have any like other big market names there. Well, you got Clay, but would that be enough to win a championship in Dallas or in Phoenix? Yeah, you got San Antonio too. I never thought about that. So you got the Spurs. That's also another one. You're going to play with Wemby, Fox, Castle, Hassel, Champagne. I mean, it would be nice to see LeBron in a Spurs jersey. But I think if you're LeBron, you want a big brand market, right? The only marketplaces that got a big brand for your name is to stay in LA. We know you're not going to play for the Clippers. Well, yeah, that's not going to happen. And I know LA Lakers don't want to re-sign you. I think they're done with that storyline. I think the only places left for LeBron, maybe Miami, but I don't think Miami want to take him back. You know, maybe this is kind of a far shot. Maybe Washington. Nah. I don't think the Wizards. I think to me the only places strategically LeBron could go to is either New York or Cleveland. Either go back to the crib, you'll get your 50, 60 million a year. You'll play with D. Mitchell, you'll play with James Harden, Evan Mobley, Jared Allen, Max Strus, Sam Merrill, Dennis Schroeder. Pieces are there. Pieces are there. Or you head to the NY and you play with the Omeka. Right? But all the lights are shining. So if LeBron, you have that LA spotlight on you. When you go to New York, that spotlight's going to even be bigger. But at least you have the pieces there. Got Anunoby, Brunson, and Towns. Josh Hart. You have a squad. And then you have LeBron to the mix. Oh my God. I think you had LeBron. If you add LeBron James to the New York Knicks, I think New York could win like 2 titles. Easily. It'd almost be like the situation when he joined the Heat. And LeBron could do that with New York. And honestly, if you're talking about ring chasing and you want to chase Jordan's 6 rings, to me personally, playing for the New York Knicks, you get 2 rings there. Dude. There's some rumors before OKC was good, LeBron playing. Oh, my God. That won't even be right, bro. LeBron James, please don't go to OKC. Oh, my God. I'll hate the guy forever. LeBron James, do not go to Oklahoma City, please, for the love of God. Don't do it. Donovan, man, now you're scaring me now, man. I think if LeBron just wants to chase Jordan, he goes to New York. I'm telling you, he goes to New York to come out of the East again. And then boom, they're just right in the finals. Because like if Knicks, let's say they win the NBA Finals this year, and then you bring LeBron in for on a 2-year deal, Knicks 3-peat. LeBron's got 6. The ring count of Jordan. And then LeBron becomes a free agent, which will be in what? 27, 28. So in 2029, LeBron becomes a free agent. He's in year 26, or that what, 24, 25. Yeah, he'll be in year 26. And I think LeBron's got 3 years left. I think if he goes to New York, signs a 2-year deal, wins back-to-back, he'll get the ring count of Jordan, 6 rings, blah, blah, blah. He'll have 60,000, 70,000 points. And then finally in year 26, he's going to hang it up. And he's going to say, I want to do a retirement tour in Cleveland where it all started. And LeBron will go back to the land. The only question is, who's going to be there? Is D. Mitch, Harden willing to wait 3 years? Harden will be 39 going on 40 when that happens. Will Donovan Mitchell have demanded to be traded by then? You know, is LeBron willing to do like Jordan did with the Wizards and have a 17, 18 win season just to kind of close out his, say I can still hoop, I can still play, I just want to just chill? You know? Because I don't think LeBron will go back to Cleveland unless they have pieces there. They would have to have some pieces there, which would make sense if he did come back to the land in this offseason. It would make sense because he going back to the crib, Harden and Mitch. You have the 3 stars. And it would be a rematch of the Eastern Conference Finals, Knicks and Cavs. Automatic. Well, unless Boston comes out of nowhere. Please tell me LeBron doesn't go to Boston. Oh my God, he'll be hated. Or LeBron goes to Philly. And plays with George and Embiid. But I don't think LeBron will go to Philly, though. I don't think he goes there. I didn't know that. So the sweepstakes this year going in the offseason is, where's Giannis going? Now, if Giannis goes to the land, could that bring in LeBron? But of course, Cleveland would have to trade a lot of assets for him. Where is Giannis going in the summer? Is going to be the big question. Where does Giannis go? And what about LeBron James? Where does he go? Yeah, I wouldn't mind seeing LeBron play with his son. It's just the problem is, I don't know, man. His son doesn't look too confident. Am I wrong for saying I don't think his son's going to be anything in the NBA, like nothing special? I think he'll be like a nice role player. Maybe somebody as a 6-man off the bench. I'm not expecting to see Bronny James be like his father. Nothing even close. Am I wrong for saying that? Like, I just don't see the comparison in the two. I don't think his son is going to live up to the hype of LeBron. I just don't see it. I mean, is it possible it could happen? Well, of course. Anything's possible. He's still kind of new to the game. I mean, anything can happen, right? I'm not saying it can't, but I just don't see it. I don't see too many kids like nowadays as good as their father, like that played in the NBA back then. Scottie Pippen Jr.'s son, he's okay. LeBron James' son's all right. Magic Johnson's son, skip that. I can't think of any player whose son is good except for maybe Carlos Boozer's son, who's currently at Duke, and I think he's probably going to go to the NBA. He's not projected to be very high, though. But, I mean, it is a possibility Carlos Boozer's son may be good, but I just don't see it. The last father-son combination that was decent was Ken Griffin Jr. and his dad. Cal Ripken Jr. and his dad. That's mainly like you see shit like that in baseball. Basketball, not so much. I don't see LeBron James' son being as good as his dad. I mean, he can shoot. He can, I'm not saying he's not good. He's not good. He's not great. I just don't think he's going to live up to the hype of LeBron. I think his son will be a nice role player to have on another team in, the hype train of his dad's last name. Yeah, I think it's just going to be too much pressure for his son to be able to adhere to or be able to pick up on and say, I'm going to replicate my father's success the way my dad is. I mean, not that it goes against him, but his dad is, arguably a top 3 player all time. I mean, he's in the conversation with Jordan and Kobe. Some people say LeBron's better than both. To to be honest with you, they always say he's better between LeBron and Jordan. But in my opinion, I think if anybody was be better than Jordan, it'd be Kobe. And if Kobe's better than Jordan, then he's better than LeBron. And I know that Kobe is better than LeBron James. That is facts. You know, you don't need statistics to back that up. Kobe is a better all-around player than LeBron James. Kobe is the closest to Michael Jordan. There's no comparison of the two. So if Kobe is in comparison to Jordan, why are we comparing LeBron James to Michael Jordan? That doesn't make any sense. Because Kobe's better than LeBron, in my opinion. I think LeBron's got good mechanics. He's taken care of his health well, and he's lasted longer than Kobe and Jordan, and I'll give him that. You know, the only thing about LeBron, he doesn't make other players better. That's the only thing about him. Kobe makes other players better. Same thing with Jordan. I don't think LeBron, you get that kind of guy. Now, he seems like a nice guy. You have a drink with him. I'm not saying he's not good. But I don't think LeBron makes other players better. I just think he's just there on the roster and he just kind of stat pats. Individual stats, I think, you know, he's good for, you know, don't get me wrong, if you have players that are already there and then you add LeBron to the mix, that'll just hypen it up. But unless you have stars there, I don't think LeBron, okay, he did take Cleveland to the finals with the weak Cleveland Cavaliers team. But he got swept by the Spurs in the finals in 2007. So LeBron James, he can get shitty teams to go far. You give him win the whole thing, it's another story. You know, in 2017, he did it with Cleveland and the help of Kyrie Irving. With the 3 titles he had, or 2 he had with the Heat, well, he had Bosh and Wade. And then, of course, with the Lakers, he had AD. You know? Just saying. Do you think Steph's going to retire? No. I'm wondering if Golden State is going to keep Steph and Dre and Kerr. Because it kind of seems like to me that Steve Kerr was hinting that might be the end. And like one thing that Steve Kerr said that kind of brought a tear to my eye is he said, we're a dying dynasty. And then he pulls Dre and Steph to the sidelines and he says, I don't know what's going to happen from here on out, but I just want to let you guys know it was fun playing with you. And I'm like, whoa. I think that Dre is going to leave. They're going to get rid of Dre. I agree with you on that, Donovan. Do they get rid of Steve Kerr? I mean, at this point, I don't know what else you can do to the Warriors that's going to help them elevate. Unless you get another star. Can they get Giannis there? That would be a big help. Giannis, Curry, Butler. I'm just throwing that out there, but you know, are the Warriors willing to trade the house to get him? Because you got to make you got to trade a lot of draft picks, future draft picks, role players. Like you're probably gonna have to get rid of at least 5 guys to get Giannis. Like, and that includes draft picks, that includes players. They're not just gonna take him a swap. Oh, he signed an extension? Well, that's good. Well, I think what ends up happening is if, like, let's say if the Rockets wanted to enter in the sweepstakes, and this might be far stretching it, but hear me out, all right? What I think the Rockets should do, and this is just my opinion, they want to make some big buzz in the offseason. I'd say we trade Kevin Durant. I'd say we get rid of him. He's nothing but a problem in the locker room. He has a bad attitude. He didn't play in majority of the playoff games. It's just he badmouths the team on burner accounts. Is at this point, you gotta ask yourself as a business person, Yes, you know, he's a talent. Yes, he can score, but is it really worth the trouble of having somebody here who's creating all these problems? And my quickest answer says no, I don't think so. I think if you're the Rockets, and there's a rumor buzzing around, all right, that the Rockets are willing to trade Durant for Jamal Murray from the Nuggets. Why? Because Rockets need a guard, and at the same time, they need to keep Joker happy in Denver. So both teams kind of went out. I think Denver actually went out more than we do. But at the same time, we both lose. We take a chance on an injury-prone player, but we need a guard. But Denver is trying to keep Joker happy now so he doesn't leave. But they got a player in Durant, and you know what comes with that. Durant's the kind of guy, he's just good on a one-year deal now. And then if things don't go his way, he's unhappy, blah, 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 and you want to ship him. So if you're trying to keep Joker happy, I guess it's kind of a fair trade. You get rid of, Jamal. We can take Jamal Murray off your hands. We'll give you Giannis. Now, what I think the Rockets should do, we get Jamal Murray and they get Durant. Sorry, what the Rockets should do is, and this is a little risky here, but I think that this would be a good plan, is to get Giannis. I would trade. Hands down, I would trade Seguin, Jabari Smith Jr., Reed Shepard, the 2029 first-round draft pick from the Phoenix Suns that they had given us. I would trade those four, and maybe I would even give them like a bench player, like another bench player or something, for Giannis. So you get Reed Shepard, you get Jabari Smith and Seguin that are all potential starters. I would give them all that. Plus a draft pick, first round, for Giannis. And so if you're the Bucks, you get a center, you get an extra a shooting guard, small forward and a two guard, or a point guard. And a first rounder. Like, to me personally, I think the Rockets should do that. And so imagine a starting lineup for Houston. Remember, Fred VanVleet comes back, and so does Steven Adams. So guess who you now got? Giannis. You can either go Steven Adams or Torrey Eason, and the other one's on the bench. You can swap them out game to game, change matchups. Amin Thompson, Jamal Murray, and Fred VanVleet. So that would be your starting five going into next season. To me, if you're talking about making a push, getting over the hump, and having a chance for championship contention, I think that would be an awesome lineup to go into next year, as opposed to what we have now. I would do a complete shakeup and say, yes, I want to win now. I want Giannis here. And to me, I think that adding Giannis to the roster is better than having Durant here, because Giannis still got some positive attitude. He wants to play. He didn't want to be benched in Milwaukee. He wanted to continue to play. They benched him for like load management crap. You know, Giannis is a team player, and he still has a lot of energy left in the tank. What's going on, Mr. Boston? What's going on? So like I said, if I'm the Rockets, pull the trigger on it, make these trades happen, and bring a player in like that. But anyways, making a long story much longer, let's go ahead and look at some more Knicks fans celebrating. Dude, I'm telling you, I'm happy for the city of New York, man. Or for the state of New York, but the city, just in general, man.
Night party in the streets of New York City. Who knows? They're probably still there. Yeah. The New York Knicks are...
Oh, you're launching a boat next week? That's badass. I'm jealous.
Yeah, check out just the size of the gathering there outside of Madison Square Garden. Big celebration. Some of them even climbing the street poles there. The Knicks are on an historic run, winning 11 straight playoff games.
But fans are not satisfied with just the conference title. They want the whole thing. Mm-hmm. They'll face either the Spurs or the Thunder in the finals. Well, take a look at this overnight party in the streets of New York City. Who knows?
Painted the bottom last weekend. That's fucking badass, bro.
going to the NBA Finals for the first time in 27 years.
Yeah, check out just the size of the gathering there outside of Madison Square Garden. Big celebration. Some of them even climbing the street poles there. The Knicks are on an historic run, winning 11 straight playoff games.
But fans are not satisfied with just the conference title. They want the whole thing. They'll face either the Spurs or the Thunder in the final.
You know, I always wondered where Knicks fans get that accent from. You know, like that New York accent. Always wondered that. You know? I always wondered where they get that accent. You fell off a 9-foot fucking ladder? God damn. Bruh. So where did New York get that accent from? I like the accent. Now you can say, well, y'all got a southern accent down here. Yeah, that's true. Okay, I'll give you that. But yeah, New York, you know, they got that accent, man. I fucking love it. There's something about it is unique, and it's like every New York fan you hear talk, or every just New Yorker you hear talk, it's like they have the same accent, bro. It's like all their souls are just in the same person. Like you hear one talk, you hear them all talk. Oh, you got a southern accent? Well, I got a southern accent, but sometimes I got a city slicker in me a little bit. My dad's got more of a New York accent because he's from NY. He's from Massapequa, which is right next to Amityville. Amityville's not far. That famous Amityville horror house that everybody talks about and says it's haunted or whatever. And that's got like demonic whatever, built on a demonic or built on like a ancient Indian burial ground or something. It's like a lot of folk tale behind the Amityville horror. But yeah, I've never been to New York personally, but it seems like a pretty cool place to visit. Madison Square Garden, what is it, Times Square, the Statue of Liberty, you know. LeBron to Denver. New York sounds like a friend. What does that mean? Somebody educate me on that. LeBron to Denver, maybe. I have a feeling, call me crazy, LeBron James goes to New York next year. You would not recommend it? The whole city? Whoa. Damn, you live 100 miles away? You know what I'm jealous of? If you live in the Boston, New York, tri-state area, like the whole, like, Connecticut, Vermont, New Hampshire, Delaware, Massachusetts, Maine, New York, that whole area. And I'm probably missing a little bit of places. D.C. or Maryland, you know, Virginia, Northern Virginia, West Virginia. You kind of have like an easy route to visit like 8 states, 9 states. And even go to Canada if you get your passport. But or go see Niagara Falls. You know, go see the tri-state New York, upstate New York area. I heard it's real beautiful because my dad was telling me, you know, we had a conversation about New York. And he's like, you know, everybody talks about New York City. Like that's the first thing that comes to their mind about New York. You know, going to New York City and you got to go to Times Square. And you got to go to the Statue of Liberty and blah, 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 blah. Or Rikers Island, whatever. He was telling me it's 400 miles, D.C. That's not bad. Oh, I live on the Rhode Island border. That's what's up. He was telling me if you really want to go see New York for the beautiful countryside, you go to upstate New York. He was telling me like by Albany. And you want to go see Niagara Falls. And he was telling me that upstate New York is probably one of the most underrated places to visit because it doesn't get much hype, because when everybody thinks of New York, they think of Southern New York. They think of New York City, the Bronx, and that whole area. And he's like, but honestly, my dad said if you want to see the countryside, you're into hunting, fishing, and just camping and all types, you go to North New York. You go to the countryside by Albany. And he said it's beautiful landscape, beautiful fucking plains and forest and all types of cool stuff up there. And he was just like, if you're into like the country life, of New York, you're going to go up to try it. You're going to go up to the, you're going to go up to North New York. You don't, he said, everybody's so hyped about New York City. They're so hyped about it, which nothing wrong with that. But, a place, yeah, the best places are hidden gems. There you go. Franco Notch, Moosehead like Maine for hunting. Yeah. My dad was even saying that. He was telling me that Maine's a beautiful state to go visit, and that he recommends if you like fishing and hunting, that you go to Maine as well. And he was telling me that a lot of people like just assume that the bigger inner cities like New York City, he was telling me Boston, Philadelphia, DC, doesn't, I'm not saying it doesn't have its areas of fun, things to do, city life shit, nightlife shit. But he was telling me if you're more into the country, sort of country feel, you don't want to be around a large population, you want to get away from the inner city, you want to have sort of that country life, privacy, more square footage to yourself, camping, hiking, fishing, water sports, that kind of stuff. He was telling me you want to travel to the countryside of these states that, everybody just keeps talking about, like this, the city areas, and he was just telling me it got too much hype for, the cities get way more hype than the countryside. He was like, you're really going to have fun in upstate New York, like as opposed to the Bronx and New York City, where everybody wants to go there and it's the same shit. Times Square, Statue of Liberty, blah, blah, blah. Rikers Island, like you just get so bored of that, so upstate New York doesn't get the recognition it deserves, and he was saying that that's what you need to go. Obviously, there's a ranch over there. It's called the Ride in a High Ranch. All you can eat food. Oh, shit. Teach them to swim. I have a brownstone 8-story building directly across the street from the Boston Public Garden. That's pretty cool, man. I'm just curious if you were to go to, let's say you went to Massachusetts. I know Massachusetts is real small. Even I want to say, I don't know if it's bigger than New Hampshire, but I know it's pretty small. What is there to do in Massachusetts that's outside of Boston, like something else, like outside the city? Is there countryside to Massachusetts, or is it, because I know you think Boston, you probably think of Foxborough. Foxborough is probably a smaller town, a city within a town sort of ordeal. I'm wondering if there's anything outside of those two cities that's fun to go to, that's sort of the countryside, I guess that makes sense. Swamp people, I live in the store of the Charles River near the countryside. That's pretty cool, man. That's what's up, man. Yeah, it's boring after a minute. Oh, shit. There's a buddy of mine that tells me Delaware, there's a lot of shit to do because he's from, well, not Delaware, it's Rhode Island. And he lives in Rhode Island, and he was telling me it's real small there. And I was like, really? He's like, yeah, you could drive around like the whole state in like 5 hours or some shit. And I'm like, wow. And he was telling me it was okay to live in. He said, it gets kind of boring after a while, but he was telling me, if you're going to, if you're, other than like fishing and all that, you're going to probably travel somewhere else. But I don't know. I haven't been up there in that area. The stretch makes me physically sick, however. Oh, shit. Okay. I wonder what there is to do in Delaware. Yeah, you ever heard of Vermont cheese? I'm just kidding. I like lots of stuff. Okay. So I wonder, okay, so outside of Boston, I guess there must be a lot to do in Massachusetts on the countryside. It would be pretty cool to visit, I always wanted to visit that area because there's so many small states within that area. And I think that's kind of what makes it cool, That's what I kind of like, the fact there's so many small states together. So Foxborough is about 20 minutes from where I am laying down right now. Oh, shit. So that's not too bad. So I'm sure you've been to Patriots games, right? I know you mentioned you weren't in the sports games, but I have a feeling that you've been to some Patriots games, right? In the past, maybe a game here or there to watch the late, great Tom Brady, greatest dynasty ever, fucking 6 championships with the Patriots. I'm jealous. My team has been around for 25 years. Well, it's our 25th year this year, and we still have no Lombardi. Now, if you include the Houston Oilers, now that goes way into the 60s. Well, I mean, 2 AFL titles before the NFL merger technically doesn't count. We've never had a Super Bowl, never had an AFC. We've had 2 AFC championship periods, 77, 78. Never had a Super Bowl. Then they moved to Tennessee. Tennessee, of course, owns the rights to the Houston Oilers. And we've offered to buy the rights from them, and they refuse to sell it. So, Bud Adams' family, I guess, is still a little salty that they didn't get their new stadium or whatever, off the taxpayers' dime. Whatever, go figure. So I guess the Bud Adams family, rest in peace to the late Bud Adams, but his family seems a little bit salty still about the fact that their stadium was never built. The new one that they were supposed to get, which now is NRG Stadium, or it was Reliant, now it's NRG, but which became Reliant in 2002. Well, actually, the stadium was built in 2000, but they were supposed to get that stadium built in the early 90s, but because the fact that Houston was going through the energy crisis and oil crisis, sort of like what they call mini recessions. We had mini recessions in the 80s. You had the oil energy crisis. You had you had oil crisis, energy crisis. You had what was it? A recession. We've had other recessions there during that time, carried on in the 90s, and taxpayers couldn't afford it. Houston just couldn't afford a new stadium, and they flat out told them, look, it's going to take some time, but we just ain't got the money right now. But Adams was adamant, and, I know this because I read a lot on the history and all this shit, and, he was like, no, I want my stadium now, and was throwing a fit like a tantrum. And they said, we'll give you a stadium, you just got to wait. And so the story behind that was that he was so butthurt about it. He was so butthurt that he didn't get the new stadium, is that he wanted out of his contract early, and we weren't going to give it to him. So he had a contract till 97. So in 95, they stopped airing all the Oilers games. This is a true fact. They stopped airing all the Houston Oilers games, and they started showing Rockets games. And so he got pissed. So it's kind of like their way of trolling him. He's trolling them back. And so so the city of Houston said, we're going to stop airing all the Oilers games. So they stopped airing them. So finally, the friction got so bad that the city of Houston said, you know what? We're just gonna, even though you got a year left on your contract, we're just gonna let you go now. And so Bud Adams before that was like, hey, Nashville's gonna give me my new stadium. They're already building it. And so I'm gonna move once my contract's up. So I think that's why we stopped airing his games. And then from there it became a little friction, and they just said, you know what? This isn't gonna work anymore. It was fun when it lasted. I think it's time to go. So Bud Adams took the Houston Oilers and went to Nashville to become what was the Nashville Titans, or the Tennessee Titans. But the funny thing about it was they actually still had the Oilers name for the first 2 years. And when they finally switched to the Tennessee Titans, they went to the Super Bowl that year in 2000 and lost to the, what was it at the time, was St. Louis Rams, I believe. 5 players on the Oilers were on the Tennessee Titans Super Bowl roster. I'm going to try to name them. Bruce Matthews, Kevin Dyson, Steve McNair, Eddie George, rest in peace, Steve McNair, by the way. Eddie George, and there's a 5th guy. I might want to say it might have been Blaine Bishop, but I might be wrong. I might have to look that up. But I'm going to say, just for the sake of argument, Blaine Bishop. But I believe that it might have been Dishman, Chris Dishman. One of the two. There's a 5th guy, but I can't remember his name. I just know 4 of them off the back of my head, but I can't remember the 5th one. But 5 Oilers players went to the Super Bowl. Didn't win, but they went there. They were on the Titans roster. So, yeah. Massachusetts, 7,800. Vermont, 10,000. Damn. Oh, Vermont's got... Oh, wait, no, Massachusetts, 7,800. For Vermont, okay, Massachusetts has more area because of our extensive coastal waters and islands. The time of the year where the dolphins usually swim with the sailboats. That's pretty cool. North Love, cold in the snow. I would love to visit Texas, but in the heat is brutal. Yes, it is. Dude, I went, just so you know, no sports teams ever wins more than 7 Super Bowls because the game is rigged. Wow. So 7 must be the bad number. They have a cool music scene. Okay, popularity, density. I'm reading all your... We have a lot more land here in Massachusetts. Okay, that's what's up. So I'm learning a lot. You know, since I'm on here, I'm going to type in things to do in Massachusetts. I'm going to see what pops up on YouTube, just for the sake of argument. To see what places to visit, historical landmarks. I'm kind of curious because I'm a Civil War guy. Like, I love the Civil War. So I watch the movie Glory. Okay? It's about the 54th Massachusetts, right? I'm kind of curious if they have a memorial or something somewhere around there that would be pretty cool to check out. Because, you know, I'm a big Civil War guy. And that would be pretty cool to see if maybe they have a historical marker or something based on that. Let's see, things. I'll type this shit in real quick. Things to do in Massachusetts. Fuck it. Oh, right now is the worst time to visit Texas, by the way. Mosquitoes are fucking bad. I went out to go work out earlier. There were tiger mosquitoes flying all around me. They were biting the shit out of me. I was going to go work out and go for a run. Shit, I had to spend more time running to the fucking car than I did running on the track. I made it 20 feet. They were all over me, swarming all over me. So I ran, dropped everything I was doing and ran to the car, and they were still flying around me. I said, Jesus, I'm not doing this no more. Hell no. I'm trying to find a video. Let's see if, I don't know, 10 best places to visit in Massachusetts. Let's see. I'm trying to find a video, a travel guide. They got a travel guide here, but they got so many different videos. I don't know. I'm going to think one of the 13 colonies, blah, blah, blah. We know that. Tell me something I don't know. Let's see. What else do we want to visit? Let's see. Let's go. I'm sure you can muster up enough money to buy one of these. What is it? The price range, $8,000. Oh, yeah. Hell yeah. In Denison, Texas for $9,500. Fiberglass and forgiving handling. Oh shit. All right, let's see what's to do in Massachusetts. I'm gonna look this up. Let's see. Hold on. Let's see. Let's look at the video.
As one of the original 13 colonies and birthplace of the American Revolution, it is no wonder Massachusetts is renowned for its rich history and heritage. While countless impressive monuments and important historic sites litter the Bay State, it also has scenic spots such as Cape Cod, Martha's Vineyard, and Nantucket for holidaymakers to enjoy. Tucked away in the northeast of the United States and New England, its long Atlantic Ocean coastline is dominated by the 3 ginormous bays that shape it. In this video, you'll see the top 10 things to see and do in Massachusetts. The suggestions are based on our several exciting trips to the city. Here are our top 10 picks. Begin with number 1, Crane Beach, Ipswich. Lying alongside the enormous Ipswich Bay is one of the most spectacular stretches of sand in the state. Backed by delightful dunes and maritime forests, Crane Beach makes for quite the sight, with divine views over the ocean also being on offer. Protected as part of a conservation site, its sparkling shores stretch more than 4 miles with a quiet boardwalk taking you through the idyllic area's untouched sand dunes and salt marshes. Bathrooms and showers are scattered about while a snack stand operates in the summer. Number 2 is the Minuteman National Historical Park. Commemorating the opening battle in the American Revolutionary War is the Minuteman National Historical Park just outside Concord. Here you can see the exact route marched by the British from Boston and where the Colonials first engaged them in battle on April 19, 1775.
Really? Have you ever been to this? Hey, Mr. Boston, you ever been to this place? Minuteman National Historical Park?
At the historic park, visitors can cross over North Bridge, the site of the skirmish, and walk along the Battle Road Trail. Restored colonial buildings, such as Barrett's Farm and Hardwell Tavern, help highlight key figures and events, while uniforms and artifacts are shown in its visitor center. Number 3, Cape Cod National Seashore.
Cape Cod, you know I like the cod, the fish. You guys ever had the fish? Cod, the fish? Alaskan cod? I haven't had Cape Cod.
Protecting almost the entirety of the outer Cape's Atlantic Ocean coastline is the Cape Cod National Seashore. Sure to delight nature lovers and outdoor enthusiasts alike, it boasts beautiful beaches and dunes with scenic woods, ponds, and seaside villages.
I would love to run along these rocks here and go all across the rocks and jump from rock to rock like I'm a child. But I'll tell you something, this video I saw that I wouldn't mind being in. Let me see.
Beaches and dunes with scenic woods, lovers and outdoor
right here.
enthusiasts.
I want to be in a lighthouse. We don't have lighthouses down here in the South, but this is predominantly what you see in the northeastern part of the United States. Places like Massachusetts and New York. I always wanted to be in a lighthouse. You ever notice when they have a scary movie, there's always like something with a lighthouse in it? It'll be like creepy. You're in there in the middle of the fucking night. And it's like creepy outside. You're like the only person in there watching a little TV, listening to a little 80s radio. I don't know, man. Something, the creepy vibe it gives at night kind of says, hey, you know, maybe I want to be in a lighthouse. Like sort of like for camping almost. You know, maybe there's like you can bring in a sleeping tent or something and stay in a lighting house right next to the shoreline. When those waves come crashing in, you get really excited, right? It gets y'all like fired and amped up. Now tell me that wouldn't be cool. I live in the swamp. I fucking hate mosquitoes, bro. I do.
It boasts beautiful beaches and dunes with
tell me if you ever been to these places.
Seaside villages tucked here and there. Lying between Provincetown and Eastham, it was established in 1961 by President John F. Kennedy to preserve its pristine landscapes, scenery, and nature. As well as high coastal cliffs and heathlands, there are expansive swamps and salt marshes to explore alongside historic lighthouses and some smallish museums. Number 4, Nantucket. As it is lined by dramatic cliffs.
See, that's what I want. I want this. I want to go to this lighthouse. Little rampway there.
Beaches. Nantucket is a picture-perfect place to visit. Both an island and town, it lies 30 miles off Cape Cod's southern coast, with ferries and planes whisking you to its windswept dunes and lonely lighthouses. Once an important whaling center, its isolated setting saw it become a popular summer destination as early as the 1870s. Although CEOs and celebrities will now find lots of exclusive resorts and golf clubs, plenty of waterfront restaurants and beachside condos cater to families with young ones too. Number 5 in our list, New England Aquarium. If you're after some cool sea creatures, then the New England Aquarium is definitely the place to go.
Yep, I'm into going to aquariums. That's always been a thing of mine. Like I said, I was at the Sea Life Aquarium in Dallas. And I have a video on that. And I paid like $30 to go in and explore the whole thing. It was beautiful. Look at Finding Nemo, you know, and got to walk around and see all the different beautiful types of fish and frogs and all different types of stuff. This is up my alley. Yeah, the Revolutionary War sites. Plymouth, the Rock, and the Mayflower are there, and I'm a pilgrim. So, you know, I came over there from the Mayflower. What I suggested was really durable sailboat. Have you ever been in a lighthouse before? Like next to the shoreline? Like you ever actually been inside a lighthouse and walked all the way up? Now, tell me that doesn't sound cool. And actually like camp there for the night. I don't know if they even allow that, but it would be one of the coolest things ever just to like do something like that, you know?
A global leader in both ocean exploration and marine conservation, its ginormous tanks and exhibition spaces lie alongside Boston Harbor.
Look at that beautiful shark right there. Now tell me I wouldn't want to be a part of this, man. That's a beautiful shark. Look at that. I think that's a tortoise right there.
Waterfront complex that includes Simon's Theater and a whale-watching wharf. While some sections of the aquarium cover temperate and tropical climates, other parts are home to cute African penguins, lazy sea turtles, and dozens of species of sharks. Its main feature, however, is the giant ocean tank which simulates a colorful Caribbean coral reef. Number 6, Bash Bish Falls.
Bash Bish Falls. Never heard of that place.
Now protected as part of a state park, the beautiful Bash Bish Falls can be found in the southwest of the state, not far from Mount Washington. Besides making for some fantastic photos and viewing.
Okay, see, this is my forte right here. Walking down that wood, walking down a forest like this, walking these trails. I see something like this, it's sort of like my high. This is something I want to do. If I'm going to travel up anywhere, and people call me weird, I say this all the time, I'm looking for places to fish, places to go camping, and places to particularly go hiking in. I could care less about the inner city shit. Now, I'm not saying there's not nothing to do inside the cities. I'm not going to say I'm not going to go and tour it. That's, maybe some good restaurants, maybe some good places to go, have a drink, maybe there's some good historical landmarks and, sightseeing stuff, things to do. I'm not saying I don't want to do those things, but I want to also see the countryside and see what the countryside has to offer. I'm more of the hiking. I want to go on the hiking trails. I want to go to the places where I can go fishing. I want to go to the places where I can go sightseeing along the plains, or if there's mountains there, something like that. Like, that's me. Like I'm more into that part of the state area. That's what I want to do. That's where militias meet up. Hell yeah. Natura North Beach is best for opening sailing. See, I want to do that too. I want to go sailing, Mr. Boston. That would be nice. We used to have more back in the day. See, I think me and you have a lot in common.
Enjoy in the surrounding area. Tucked away amidst the Taconic Mountains, it towers almost 200 feet in height, with its bright white waters standing out.
Look at how beautiful that waterfall is right there. And in Texas, we don't have waterfalls like this unless you go to central Texas, like by Austin.
Rocks and lush foliage. After coursing their way through a series of gorges, the Cascades plunge into a serene pool overlooked by a scenic viewpoint.
And when you get a chance to do that, when you come out on my boat, oh, okay. It's called the Jetty.
Number 7, Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Right in the historic heart of Boston is one of the capital's standout sites, the fantastic Faneuil Hall Marketplace. Most known for the role it played during the American Revolution, the huge historical brick building now acts as a shopping center and is synonymous with world-class street performers. Now
oh,
a
shit.
large complex encompassing scores of shops in the lively Quincy Market Food Hall, it is often referred to as the Cradle
of Liberty. I wonder if
This-
Boston has anywhere where you can get like arrowheads and shit like that. Like, I like collecting arrowheads and stuff like that. I wonder if they have anything like that up there. Like, I know down here we got a lot of places where you can get arrowheads, and I've always been into collecting stuff like that, like rocks and stuff like that. I'm into like rock collecting too. I haven't really done it in a while, but I wouldn't mind picking that hobby back up. Some old hobbies of mine that I kind of want to resurface now that if I'm going to get into the whole traveling thing around the United States. It's definitely what I want to do. We'll always have a lot of those. I'll even take you inside of one of those if you come down here. Really? And because this year I'm being forced to take my captain's license. Whoa. Captain's license. I like that.
James Otis coined the rallying cry no taxation without representation in 1764 while encouraging independence from Great Britain. Number 8, Six Flags New England.
Y'all have a Six Flags up there? I didn't know
A
that.
firm favorite with families, Six Flags New England is full of hair-raising rides and roller coasters for you to enjoy. One of the largest theme parks on the eastern seaboard, its innumerable attractions lie just south of Springfield, alongside the Connecticut River. What started out life in 1870 as a picnic spot with several mechanical rides and a carousel has since slowly morphed into a massive amusement park. In total, Six Flags now boasts more than 100 thrilling rides and attractions with a large water park and loads of world-class shows also on offer. Number 9, Harvard Museum of Natural History. Home to an incredible collection of specimens, the Harvard Museum of Natural History is one of the prestigious university's most visited attractions. Situated on its
Oh, no way. Y'all got the snails. Y'all got the shells there for the snails. Right here. This is good collector's items to gather, you
In
know?
Cambridge, its gigantic red brick building has endless exhibits on the natural world for guests.
Oh.
Formed out of 3 research museums in 1998. Its large galleries display everything from dinosaur fossils and meteorites to stuffed animals and tiny invertebrates. Well,
Here's the breakdown. Calculated passenger capability. Sleeping capacity overnight. The boat sleeps between 4 and 8 people. Specific cabin layout and saloon set. Do you know what you can get it in for free? Because my wife used to work there for 11 years. Whoa. 379 could fit. Depends deeply entirely you are sleeping overnight. Whoa. That's pretty cool. Yes, the movie Jaws was filmed right now. Really? Really? I didn't know that.
The world's only mounted 42.
That's a fun fact.
Certainly makes for a striking
well, yeah, why?
For many,
well, of course. Why pay for it when you can get it for free? That's what life's all about. You know, my dad always told me. He said that it's not about what degree you have or about. It's about networking and connections. That's how you make it far in life. Not about what you have on paper. Now, of course, what you have on paper does help when you have a footnote or paper trail of a resume, portfolio, stuff like. I'm not saying that that's not important, but sometimes that's not always just enough. Sometimes people got to know you. They got to know your character. They got to know exactly who they're dealing with. Can they trust you? Because anybody can have a piece of paper now and say, "Oh, I'm qualified to do this," but you don't really know the person if they're really capable. If they're just somebody that just never comes to work or is not motivated, or piece of paper's not really going to tell you all that. So sometimes networking and knowing people it will get you places that you've never gotten before. How do you think I got in the line of work I am now? Networking, not a piece of paper. I'll tell you that. That looks like a giant bat right there. Almost looks prehistoric, like a big giant dinosaur.
The breathtaking glass flowers are the museum's main highlight.
Oh, man.
Number 10.
The Freedom Trail.
Meandering its way through the center of Boston, the Freedom Trail takes you past many of its most important Revolutionary War sites. Its churches, graveyards, and colonial buildings recount the story of the critical events and crucial figures that paved the way for American independence. Marked by both red bricks and paint, the historic walking tour stretches 2.5 miles in total and begins at Boston Common, the oldest park in the country. Divided into sections, it first looks at revolution and revolt before culminating at the Battle of Bunker Hill and the USS Constitution, which was built to protect the fledgling nation. Now it's time to hear from you. What's your favorite thing to do in Massachusetts? Is there something we missed? Let us know in the comments section below, and don't forget to give this video a like and subscribe to Green.
Man, it looks like paradise in Massachusetts. It does. You see, I'm a sports guy, so every time you either think of the Boston Garden or you think of Foxborough and the Patriots, but you never think of anything outside of that. And I think it's pretty fascinating that there is some things to do down there. Looks like there's some very fun places to go to, I'm just curious, what is there, and what, it's a big place, I know what you're looking for. Looks like the woods around my house, to be honest with you. Yeah, tons of trails. Yeah, that's what I like. I like the nature walk trails. I'm just curious, also to kill the cat. I just want to see what are some things to do in Vermont. Because, I've always wanted to visit Vermont. Let's see, top 10 places. I guess I'll click on here. Why not? So fuck it.
Stop it.
Don't you love these ads? These ads must hate my guts now. Couldn't agree with you more. Yes, I love nature walk. Ain't nothing better than a good nature walk.
Do you love exploring cool places, and Vermont has always been on the list? If yes, you're in for a treat. Today, we're taking a trip to Vermont, USA, to disclose all the reasons why this place is visit-worthy. It's got gorgeous lakes, cute towns, and tons to see and do. In this video, our aim is to help simplify exploring this city so you don't have to rely on fancy travel guides. We will cover the hidden gems that make Vermont awesome.
Exactly.
So, without further ado, let's count down the top 10 spots. Grab your comfy shoes and get ready for a Vermont.
Have you ever been to Vermont, Mr. Boston? Since you're technically, not that far. The woods you're likely thinking of are centered around Massachusetts State Park and the surroundings of Hockomock Swamp. The area has a deep historical ties to the Winnipeg people. Ooh. It almost seems like I'll have natives there.
Adventure. Attractions in Vermont.
Look at how beautiful like the forest areas are, or like the trees, like that fall with that.
Vermont Adventure. Attraction.
Look at that. Look how beautiful these trees are. Very colorful. Just something you see out of a book. Known for English settlers is King Philip. The locations of Mascot State Park. Spot for the woods and lakes intention. It covers about 1,200 acres and is named after the great leader Bog, who is a key figure in the early colonial relations. It's heavily. Bogs is several ponds. Wow. That is pretty cool, man. You ever been to Vermont?
Vermont. Number 10. Lake Willoughby. Kicking off our list at number 10 is the stunning Lake Willoughby. Often compared to a Norwegian fjord, this glacial lake is located in the northeast kingdom of Vermont.
Oh, man. Wouldn't you love to go there? Take a sailboat there in Vermont. Best options during King Philip's War in the 1670s. King Philip's Cave, Norton, on their line. Technically just across the border of Norton. Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
This stunning place is surrounded by dramatic cliffs and lush forests.
How far is Vermont from you?
Clear waters, perfect for swimming, kayaking, and fishing. If you're a fan of hiking, you'll love the trails around the lake that provide breathtaking views from above. Mount Pisgah and Mount Hor offer some of the best vantage points, where you can see the lakes stretching out below. The area is also great for birdwatching, with species like loons and herons often spotted. This place is sure a perfect escape from the hustle and bustle of everyday life. Number 9. Killington. Don't let that name confuse you, because Killington is a paradise for outdoor enthusiasts.
Yep, that's me right there. That is me right there.
This destination is known primarily for its extensive ski slopes, attracting skiers and snowboarders from all over during the winter months. The Killington Ski Resort, also known as the Beast of the East, boasts the largest vertical drop in New England and a wide variety of trails for all skill levels.
God damn it, I want to go to Vermont now. God damn it, I want to go to Vermont. It's got to be on my list.
I think this place is just for winter sports lovers. In the summer, Killington becomes ideal for hikers, mountain bikers, and golfers. These scenic trails offer a chance to connect with nature. Killington Resort also...
Oh, you got to book through mass.gov. Oh, okay. How much they run for? Oh, you got to make reservations. Okay.
Features the Adventure Center with activities like the Beast Mountain Coaster, zip lines, and a ropes course. After a day of adventure, you can unwind at one of the local eateries or enjoy the vibrant après ski scene. Killington truly offers year-round excitement and natural beauty. Number 8. Manchester. At number 8, we have Manchester.
Really?
A charming town known for its upscale outlet shopping and rich history. If you're a shopping enthusiast...
Almost like Manchester in Britain.
You'll love exploring the designer outlets offering great deals.
Doesn't Vermont give off a Great Britain feel to it? Like a Great Britain vibe? Or an England vibe? It kind of does. Like the solo scenery. Kind of does.
On top brands. Manchester designer outlets feature stores like Ralph Lauren, Kate Spade, and Michael Kors. But Manchester is more than just a shopping destination. Don't miss a visit to Hildene,
Let me read your DR website, Reserve America. Walk-ins usually aren't allowed. Oh, okay. Late May, Memorial Day through mid-October. You cannot camp inside the... Oh.
Lincoln family home, where you can tour the estate and learn about its fascinating history.
Not the Lincoln family home. We're not thinking of Abraham Lincoln, are we? Was he from Vermont? That I did not know.
Built by Robert Todd Lincoln, the son of President Abraham Lincoln.
Okay, so it is
the building
him.
offers guided tours of the mansion, beautiful gardens, and even a working farm. Manchester also offers plenty of outdoor activities, from hiking trails to fishing spots in the nearby Battenkill River. It's a
He's a dentist? Cool.
perfect blend of luxury and nature. Number 7. Bennington. Coming in at number 7.
Okay. You know what this reminds me of? The San Jacinto Monument. It's huge. It's got a big, long needle like this. You go up that elevator. It takes you like 300 stories or whatever. I went on it once during a field trip, and I had a blast. Of course, I'm afraid of heights, but, yeah.
The historic town of Bennington.
I would go on this.
Rich in culture and history, Bennington is home to the Bennington Battle Monument, commemorating a pivotal battle in the American Revolutionary War. At 306 feet tall, it is the tallest man-made structure in Vermont, and the observation deck offers stunning views of the surrounding area. People interested in history will enjoy exploring the Bennington Museum, which houses a vast collection of art and artifacts, including works by Grandma Moses, a celebrated American folk artist. The charm of Bennington lies in its ability to blend historical significance with a vibrant community, making it a
I'm going to take you around the city and just some walking. You'll see across the street from the garden. Oh, shit. Oh, shit.
fascinating stop in your Vermont adventure.
That's
Don't
cool.
forget to check out the local cafes, which add a modern touch to this historic town. Number 6. Green Mountain National Forest.
Yeah.
At number 6, we have the vast and beautiful Green Mountain National Forest.
Yeah.
Spanning a large portion of Vermont, this national forest is an outdoor enthusiast's dream. With miles of hiking and biking trails,
That sounds
there
like
are
my
endless
forte.
opportunities to explore the natural beauty of Vermont. The Long Trail, one of the oldest long-distance hiking trails in the United States, runs through the forest, offering challenging hikes and rewarding views. Camping here is a fantastic way to indulge yourself in nature, with the chance to see a variety of wildlife, such as moose, black bears, and white-tailed deer. The forest is also home to several picturesque waterfalls, like Lye Brook Falls, perfect.
Now that's beautiful. I would love to hike that. The place I've suggested camping is known for mysterious things. The American burial ground. Yeah, Bermuda Triangle. But you've never heard of the Tom. Let me write that in. I'm gonna write that down since you mentioned that. Give me a minute. Because I'm gonna type that up and look that up. Triangle. Vermont's 1 hour away. Have you ever been to Vermont? Have you ever been to any of these places? Green Mountain National Forest?
Number 5. Montpelier. Halfway through our list at number 5 is Montpelier, the smallest state capital in the U.S. Montpelier may be small, but it is highly attractive for its historic buildings and vibrant art scene. The Vermont State House, with its impressive gold dome, is a must-see and offers free tours where you can learn about Vermont's legislative process and history. Stroll through the charming downtown area, filled with unique shops, cafes, and restaurants. Montpelier is known for its farm-to-table dining, with many restaurants sourcing ingredients from local farms. Check out the Capital City Farmers Market for a taste of
A
local
Romanian tour guide?
produce and crafts. Number 4. Woodstock. Next up, we have Woodstock, often described as one of the most beautiful small towns in America. Woodstock is the epitome of New England charm, with its quaint shops, lovely...
That is where I buy my cigarettes. Oh, really? So is Vermont like a low cost to live in as compared to Massachusetts? Like, let's say if you were to stay in a hotel in Vermont area, I don't know, a week stay, it's pretty affordable over there?
Stunning architecture. The town's green and covered bridges.
See, here's how much of a loser I am. Watch this shit. I'm the guy that's underneath this rock formation, casting my raw fishing rod right under here, live streaming that shit. Not even aware if I'm going to catch anything or not. Just for the hell of it. I'm right underneath that bridge. doing that because I like shit like that, man. You know, gets me excited. Yeah, I do want to look for arrowheads. A lot of things I want to do.
And stunning architecture.
But yeah,
The town's
arrowheads is
green
one of
and
my
covered bridges
one of
add
many
to
things I
its
want to do.
picturesque setting. Take a step back in time at the Billings Farm and Museum, where you can learn about Vermont's agricultural history and even participate in hands-on activities. The nearby Marsh Billings Rockefeller National Historical Park offers beautiful trails and tours of the historic
Wait a minute, the
mansion.
Rockefeller. We're not thinking of the elite family, the Rockefellers. Is this what they're talking about?
The town's picturesque setting and a friendly community make Woodstock a perfect place to relax and soak in the beauty of Vermont. Number 3. Shelburne. Coming in at number 3 is the charming town of Shelburne. Just south of Burlington, Shelburne offers a variety of attractions that appeal to all ages. The Shelburne Museum is a highlight, featuring an eclectic collection of art, Americana, and historic buildings. Over 150,000 works are displayed in 39 buildings, including a lighthouse and a steamboat, making it a fascinating place to explore. Shelburne Farms, a working farm and educational center, is another must-visit spot. Here, you can explore the beautiful grounds, learn about sustainable farming practices, and even sample some delicious farm-made products like cheese and maple syrup. Shelburne combines education, culture, and natural beauty in a truly unique way.
Oh, it's impossible. In the same amount of time, Old Orchard Beach.
2.
I'm gonna write that down too.
Burlington. At number 2, we have Burlington, a vibrant college town.
Not Burlington Coat Factory. Is that where is that what they're talking about? Is that where the coat factory's from, Burlington? That coat factory store? Because we have those down here. That's why when I heard that, I was like, Moosehead Lake, Maine. I'm writing all these down. Give me a sec. Head Lake, Maine. All right, I wrote 3 down so far. Let me go ahead and look them up real quick. Give me a sec. I'm gonna type in shit.
The lights. People go missing and are never seen again. In southeastern Massachusetts lies the Bridgewater Triangle, a hotspot for paranormal activity. In 1978, a man named Paul Jevnin went hiking in the Freetown State Forest. He told his wife he'd be back before sunset. He never came home. Search teams found his car, keys in the ignition, but no sign of Paul. Days later, his torn backpack was discovered deep in the woods, hanging 20 feet up a tree. Locals whispered he'd followed the mysterious orbs, glowing lights that appeared just before people vanish. Over 40 disappearances have been reported there since the 1970s. No bodies, no answers, just whispers of shadowy figures, UFOs, and ancient curses. They say if you follow the lights, you become one of them. Would you follow them? Subscribe, like, and comment down.
The Bridgewater Triangle. I never heard of that place, but
Triangle.
I don't know if that's a Bridgewater Triangle is right near Boston, but I don't know if that has anything to do with what you were talking about. But I'm looking it up. A bunch of folktale, it looks like. Massachusetts Bermuda Triangle. They got a whole storyline on that. The Bridgewater Triangle. Is that the same thing as the Taunton Triangle? Or is that totally different? Abraham Lincoln was born in Hodgeville, Tennessee. He later lived in Indiana and spent most of his adult life in Illinois. Looks like they got a bunch of folk telling. I'm going to go ahead and type in Old Orchard Beach. I really don't have a life because, like I said, I work 60, 70 hours a week. But one day, Mr. Boston, I mean, you seem like a pretty cool guy. I know we don't really talk often. But maybe one day we'll exchange something, keep in touch, outside of here, because I know usually I got a lot of trolls following my shit, bro. Not to mention they already have my number and everything, so not that it's going to be any like, oh my god, they got my number. It's like, we'll already know that they already have my number, so it's not like it's water pretty much under a bridge at that point, But yeah, you seem pretty cool. We definitely got to 10 things to do in Orchard Beach, Maine. We'll type that in real quick. Travel guide.
Man, I'm loving this.
Don't you love a good old car commercial? And the old car just gives out. It's just, go ahead and get you a new one.
With its classic Americana charm with the main twist, Old Orchard Beach has captivated visitors for generations, maybe even defining what the term vacation land means. With 6 miles of beachfront, the old-timey pier and seaside amusement park, Old Orchard Beach is a postcard of a place frozen in time. Join us as we discover everything Old Orchard Beach has to offer, from amusement parks to getting out into nature to nearby towns. This is Brew England, a channel dedicated to all things New England culture, adventures, and beer.
The pier.
Definitely check out the pier. The original pier dates back to 1898, but the current iteration opened in 1980 after being destroyed by the blizzard of 1978. Several restaurants, bars, arcade nooks, shops, and some of the best views of the ocean, beach, and amusement park.
You said it's a lot better? Let me type that. Let me write that in. Hold on. I'll write that down. In New Hampshire? Okay, Franconia Notch. I'm writing that down. 1 second.
Alice Playland is a blast from the past and one of New England's last.
I like arcades. Yes. Go-karts. Who doesn't?
Modern arcade, rides for all ages, and plenty of deep-fried tasty treats.
Mini golf.
This must be the mini golf capital of Maine right here.
I'm in the mini golf.
Mini golf courses within a. The summer events calendar in Old Orchard Beach is jam-packed with daily concerts, fireworks, workshops, and lots of. Old Orchard Street acts as the local main street, with several restaurants and shops ranging from basic beach gear to gift stores to the famed Dickinson candy store.
Oh shit! Have you ever been down here? Oh, hiking. Here we go. This is my place.
There's actually a lot of nearby hiking that never gets mentioned. Saco Bay Trails offers over 11 miles of hiking through forests, marshes, and along the coast. The Eastern Trail is 7 miles of continuous trail from Saco to South Portland, great for biking or a family walk, with the most scenic section being the Scarborough Marsh, the largest saltwater marsh in Maine. Soon, it will extend all the way to Bug Lake Park in South Portland, with great views of downtown Portland. You can also stop by the Audubon Center to rent kayaks or sign up for tours.
I would die to get on something like this, kayaking or on a small boat like this. The sun is set, or that's the moon. Looks like good weather. I'm assuming it's probably like mid 60s. Back of my throat's draining. To me, this would be cool. I would like something like this. Is where you buy my smoke. Oh, that's what's up. Let's see. It says high concentrations of alleged paranormal activity, UFO. Oh my God! Tell me that wouldn't be cool. It's something used to describe a specific area southeastern Massachusetts, center around the city of Tonopah, parts of Bridgewater Triangle known for. That's pretty cool. Okay, so how much is a pack of smokes? Let's just say cigarettes. I'll just name a brand. Like, let's say Marlboro Red 100s in a box. Like, what's the difference between the cost in your state versus buying it from the neighboring states? Like what's the difference, like cost wise? Like let's say you bought a pack, or let's just say for the sake of argument, you bought a carton of smokes in Massachusetts, but you went next door and bought a carton there, the same brand. What would be like your cost saving comparison? We'll say a pack, and then for the carton, like how much would you save? Was there much difference? Is it $10 difference, or like what would you be saving per se? The Primister River flows through the Fracona Notch. It originally originates Profile Lake and follows the notch southward along the base of the mountains. That's pretty cool. I don't know if you've seen my videos, Mr. Boston, on my hiking videos, but I have a lot of them. If you go to my channel, whenever this ends, and you go to where it shows my playlist, go look at my hiking videos, man. I got probably at least maybe about 30 of them that I put on there, of areas I've gone hiking to, from the Dallas to the Houston area. More so in Houston, of course, that's where I'm from. But, I do have some hiking videos that I have in Dallas. And then in Austin, like I said, if you're going to go hiking in Austin, they got beautiful fucking lake trails. But most importantly, they got cave trail, like where you're going underground caves. They got beautiful crystal mines and stuff there outside of the Austin area. And that's like definitely a to-do thing if you were to come to Texas and you're into traveling like caves. San Antonio's got one called the Natural Bridge Caverns. It's like a huge bat cave, and it's home to over 3 million bats. And like I said, Austin's got a couple of they got a big dinosaur park too. That's not far outside of where it's like a huge dinosaur, like a lot of dinosaurs there. Of course, not real, but they got a huge dinosaur tourist attraction park there. So like I said, if you're into like the more of the hiking and stuff like that, Austin, San Antonio, Central Texas, South Texas is definitely a place to go.
The great trails include Saco Heath in Saco, as well as Clifford Park,
on the Vermont border. Wow.
Point Preserve, all in Biddeford.
Oh my God. See, these are the parks that I want to go to. Hiking trails, big giant tall trees that are like 500 feet tall. You can get lost in. That is my forte. It's definitely what I want. Yeah, man, a month-long thing. That sounds like, yeah, absolutely. I like to get lost in the woods. I think one video you'll like, in particularly, that I had. Give me a second. I'll try to look it up. The one video in particular I had, well, I go on a hiking trail with this gentleman here. Let's see, look on playlists. It's under hikes. Let me see. 1 second. All right, so here's the hiking videos I got. Watch this shit. So see, this is if you go under hikes, I got 67 videos. So it's even more than I thought. East End Park in Kingwood is a beautiful park. It's got sand dunes, trails. This is a trail that I was hiking down here with the camera. It's a 36-minute video, of course. This was filmed 5 years ago.
There's another trail that cuts through here.
And see, this is just me.
Exactly
That's
where it takes you. You know what? That may be those yellow trails we're talking about. I'm not sure.
See, look, and then this is where I walked here.
Trying to get one picture now.
It's got a little bridge and a little swamp water that you walk across, which is real kind of cool.
Yeah, somebody passing me up. How rude. Now this is cool. I didn't know that.
This thing 5 years ago. How time flies.
Okay. A
Look at this. OMG.
Yep.
This it was.
And look, this takes you out to the water.
Just look at this. Amazing. All right, we are now. Well, I am now at Huron's Rest, which on the map is right here. On the left, which it takes you into those yellow trails.
See?
Here.
All the hiking trails I went on. Alligator Alley is what they call it. I didn't see any alligators there.
Yeah.
Let me fast forward it a little bit. And it's cool because part of the trails that you take here turns into sand dunes. So it kind of feels like you're walking on the beach almost, if that makes sense. See, this right here turns into sand dunes. So you kind of feel like I would say you almost feel like you're at the beach almost. So that's what I kind of like about some of these parks here. 1 minute you're walking on straight grass. 1 minute you're walking on trails. 1 minute you're walking on sand gravel or walking on gravel. And then this one you're almost in the sand dunes. It almost kind of feels like you're at the beach. And when you try walking in the summer in these sand dunes, it almost feels, this part of the trail here was almost like impossible to walk. Once you got to the bottom portion of it here, the sand really put a lot of resistance on your steps, and you felt like you had 50-pound weights on your ankles. It really gave that appearance or that feel. I'm sorry. And so this was extremely hot. When we went out this day, it was me and a friend of mine. When we went out this day, it felt like it was about over 100 degrees out there. That's why you need Discord. Okay. And this right here is the Ben Hod Cemetery. This is a Cullinan Park. It's right down the street from my house. It's right next to a private airport. So you can see all the planes flying overhead, whenever you can hear the engines ruffling. And
take us around
White Lake's coming up.
Trail, and it's barely half.
See? So I'm walking down the trail here. You can hear the planes going up in the trying to take you to the look. Here goes these are old Texas Republic soldiers. Some of them are Confederate soldiers that were, in the Civil War, and then back when Texas was in the war before, when it was its own country. There's Alexander Hodge. I think he was a Southern property owner. Him and Ben Hodge, they were brothers, and they own this property here.
Alexander Hodge, Revolutionary War
Texas
soldier,
militia. Look at that.
General
Born in
Francis Berry,
1757 to 1836. So you can see the whole cemetery here. It's pretty cool. Some of their descendants still come up and bring flowers and stuff like that to this day. So it's really cool. And like I said, we have an observation tower here at Cullinan Park. Hold on real quick. That was the wrong one to click on. Sorry.
All right, guys, here goes the next park.
And then this is the same park, basically. But just it's a little bit bigger. This is the observation tower. Well, this is the bottom portion of it. See, there it is right there. And I'm walking down the wooded plank to, head to the observation tower. Now, the water looks deep, but it's really not. It's only like 2 feet deep. It's got a bunch of lily pads and minnows and guppies and, turtles and shit. You're not really going to catch too much out here. So it's only, you could literally see the ocean's depth floor, like within bird's eye view. Like it only gets about 1.5 feet deep. And then this is the top of the observation tower. See, I'm going up the stairwell right now. And a lot of people write stuff on there, carve their names and shit like that. Or this person loves this person on this date, whatever. So it's kind of cool. This is the observation tower here. So it kind of gives you a layout of the whole area of the lake. See, I'm into this kind of shit, man. I used to be really into it back when, when you're broke, have no money, and you're working a dead-end job, this is the place to go to. But now I work a ton of hours, make good money. It's kind of hard to what's Diamondback Water Snakes. Yeah, this was at Shadow Creek Ranch Park. This is Pearland. This park right here was in fact, I love going through the waterfalls and staircases. You're gonna love it. Nice. I own kayaks. That's what's up. This right here is I haven't been to this park. Shit, this came out 5 years ago. Jesus Christ, how long it's been. What I like about this park, and particularly, you can see the downtown Houston skyline from a certain part of the trail. Back when I was bipolar in my manic stages, I used to just walk everywhere and jump from rock to rock and do all types of dumb shit. Now, not so much. This one's Jesse H. Jones Park. I was with a really good friend of mine named Brittany at the time, and she was the one that told me about Jesse H. Jones Park. This is a really good park to go to. It's extremely hot. See, that's Brittany right there. She was extremely hot. She wanted to stop and take a break. I'll never forget that day. Well, we had a lot of fun, man. It was fun, I guess, while life lasted. This is Atascocita Park, Dwight Howard Eisenhower Park. See, my dumb ass wanted to go hiking in the hottest parts of the weather. Back in the day when I used to like doing this shit in the hot weather, now I wouldn't say much. So, I think this video you'll like it particularly. The reason why this was my first hike 6 years ago with the guy named Christopher Clancy, one of the nicest guys I ever met. Decent guy. He's had 2 strokes since this video, and so I wish the best for him health wise and all that. I hope he I don't know, gets better, I guess. He said in Massachusetts, a carton of Marlboro Reds, approximately $125 to $153. Oh yeah, that's a big difference. Oh, absolutely. This guy Chris is real cool. He was one that.
No, I've just seen the actual. Oh yeah, where people were living. Yeah.
So see, Chris tells old ghost stories in here. Now I know it's probably not true.
Did it get in everybody else's? Yeah, only both times that happened, something that they bigger park more. Yeah. I mean, I guess you pretty much saw everything you had to see.
He tells haunted ghost stories in this video, and it's 1 hour and 6 minutes. He tells about folktale legends about the park. He tells like 3 really good stories, so if you have nothing to do and you just want to kind of listen to this while you're doing something, this is probably one of the best videos to watch.
Wow. I must say, Chris, this is nice.
He was the one that got me into hiking. And ever since then, I just started loving the nature hikes. And it was all because of him. And in the video, it says, one day you'll want to do this on your own. And he wasn't lying. Because that's ended up becoming my interest.
Wow, look how big these plants are. This is beautiful, man. And these trees stand tall. Like, damn, look like they're like 1,000 years old. Well, they say trees can go up to 500 years old. There's some older ones back here. So what, it takes about a good hour to walk through this, huh? You walk the entire, like, around area and stuff. See, I go into the woods off trail, so... I don't mind. We can do that a little bit, too. Mm-hmm. We're gonna do that here in a second. I'm down. That way it prolongs it a little bit. I must admit, man, this is very impressive. I mean, even though, you're saying it's not as good as the other one, but... So the wilderness...
Oh, that's pretty cool, man.
How long? Oh, God. This was water. This was a little bitty creek. But it dries up, and then you can walk through here. Usually you can't.
It's kind of my tour guide in this video.
That's all muddy over there too. Dude, I'm loving this.
This is my forte here.
You say you go off the trail, and you're going through the. How do you stay alert to where, you know, you don't get bit or anything?
Trying to get to the part where he tells us about the ghost stories.
That's a good picture. What's the latest you've ever walked out here? Do you have any at the house or no? I'll bring some for you. We can both share it.
Okay. And we're gonna go off road. I'm sure you will.
Okay. All right. So this is now, we are off trail, guys. We're going off trail. Oh yeah, 'cause I see that takes you back to another area over there.
Well, according to legend.
Here's the part where we start. This is the part we start telling ghost stories.
Tell me one, man, since I'm new to this.
Yeah, you can put it on the YouTube.
I plan on doing that. So tell me a story, man. One story.
Okay. Well, according to legend, like 100 years ago.
Yeah.
In this area, there were.
This was still here 100 years ago.
This was far.
Oh, before the RV was here.
Yeah, before. This is 100 years ago.
Yeah.
Before a lot of people.
Yeah.
So So one of the settlers' wives went crazy one day. Brought her children out here and said to have chopped him up with an axe. And then she went back when the husband came home, brought him out and chopped him up out here.
Damn.
Yeah.
So is there any catches to it that, well, maybe the ghosts are still lurking?
I'll show you where it's at.
Really? Okay, guys, we're gonna go. This is.
I like haunted places.
Yeah, man. I mean, this is awesome. Have you ever seen anything out here yourself? Especially if you're out yourself. Okay. All right.
I mean, it's not much of a spot now. So I'll show you.
They have like a landmark?
No. I just know because
What's that?
okay, shit.
I don't know what that was.
Yeah, they don't have markers for that. It scares me. It was just in this middle area.
Okay.
Nobody knows where exactly. It's just a story.
You know, crazy as it is, I think he was lying to me about these ghost stories. But given like the time I was all excited about hiking and he got me all into this shit, I kind of gave him the benefit of the doubt. And like even looking back at it today, like, am I saying that's not possible this stuff happened? Like, yeah, but I think maybe he just might have made that shit up just for the sake of, because he knew I was recording, he knew I was going to post it. But hey, I mean, he was a good storyteller, and just, you know, for the, I guess just the sake of argument, is Bigfoot real? I guess it's pretty cool that, you know, he was telling the story about the ghost, you know.
Okay, so
Let's look at where we're standing right here in this general area, somewhere in here. So at night, supposedly, if you come out here at night, supposedly this you'll see them.
Wow. That's
Me personally, I've never seen them.
You know, I would pay to go to relive this day again, to like hang out with him again. But he's had 2 strokes. You know, his health is kind of getting bad, and you know, I don't mean to put his business out like that, but you know, just being honest, you know, he was a good guy, man, and you don't find too many friends like that nowadays that are cool to hang out with, you know. It's hard finding people like that, you know, it really is. And like meeting him was a blessing, because it's like if it wasn't for Chris Clancy, give him a shout out, I would have never got into hiking. So I thank this man for this, because if it wasn't for him, I would have never got into that. I don't believe in ghosts. Okay, cool.
Have you been out here?
I even come out here. I'm out here at midnight just to see if,
He's a good
if
storyteller.
something shows up.
I'm not gonna lie. For the sake of the video, he's a great storyteller. I actually sent him this video the other day.
So is that the only folktale, or is there others? Witchcraft, anything like that, or is it just that's the only one?
That one, and there's a Native American legend about it.
Okay, what's the Native American legend?
It's about a large dog.
A large dog, and it lives out here?
Like a wolf dog.
Like a spirit?
No, it used to live out here. Yeah, it's a spirit.
Oh,
Motherfucker, lying his ass off,
And
but it's okay.
it just...
Supposedly it would come and take you away if you or you like broke anything or messed with anything.
Wow. Sort of like Indian burial ground.
It was kind of like a protection thing.
Yeah.
But no, they had that. They found like something like a part of like talents and stuff.
You know you can hide a dead body back here.
Yeah, everybody says that.
Shit, hell, even a fugitive can hide back here.
Yeah, that's what I worry about.
Wow.
Only problem is people come out here and toss their fucking trash.
Okay, so... Wow. Well, what's further? What's that way?
Huh?
What's that way?
Bad stuff.
Bad stuff.
Okay, let's go to them.
How bad are we talking about?
I'm just saying, the vehicle we got with the worst of stories.
Okay,
Well, would I love to relive this day again and go in a time machine and go back to this shit 6 years ago. Oh, God, I miss the memories, man. Sometimes you don't know what you missed till it's gone, and you know, I'm glad that I got to record this, because at least I can cherish the moment, because I know that if this doesn't happen again, like, I can always go back and watch this, because if I never... It's too bad you didn't scroll back to read what I wrote. Sorry about that. Let me scroll back. Oh, your ancestors set standard for the next generation. Cultural glue in Greece, calling someone Albatemo, someone without Temo, is one of the gravest insults. It implies the person is selfish, lacks conscience, has no regard for their impact upon others. Conversely, the reason for Greek legend or hospitality, the resilience shown during times of national hardship, less philosophy, more hard to explain, but I live by those principles. Well, that's good. That's good. Acting with dignity and respect, person who behaves. That's what's up, man. I bet your wife loves that most about you, right?
Well, how many more stories do you have? Okay. Well, why don't you just say another one just for shits and giggles?
I'm always curious about areas and places I go, so I always want to know all the damn...
So what's the story back here?
Back here, supposedly, they had almost like a serial killer type guy that he killed. He would bring children out here. Yeah. He was
when was this?
He was just a child killer, and I think he killed like 12 kids out.
They say when this was?
Back in the 60s.
Wow.
Like I said, they don't talk like much about these stories. I get them out of people when they've been drinking.
Oh, okay. So these are the.
Don't talk about them.
Okay, so this isn't something you can just Google.
No.
Oh, okay.
No, I wish you could just Google it. Like I said, they're stories. I don't know how much. You know legends. You don't know how much truth.
How far back have you been back here?
Oh, pretty good.
Man, I miss this. This was probably a classic time, man. Boy, what I loved, and we have another Lake Wilderness Park, 6 mile hike with Chris, same guy.
All right.
So we're entering right here in Lake Houston Wilderness Park. We do 6 miles. We do backpack, and he has a big giant backpack on him. See, we're doing all of our walking. It's hot as hell outside,
When
mind
they
you.
start tearing this kind of shit down to build new highways or businesses, it sucks. You know, it takes away the preservation of this of our area. You know. Hold on.
It's not here yet.
Let me take a picture of that.
Man, I would love to go back to these days. Look at he's even got the walking stick. We won't ever get married, but that's for tax purposes. There's no common law marriage. Oh, we got that down here.
Because believe it or not, people sometimes don't trust me because of the way I am, because they're like, there's no way a human being can be the way you know, like you are.
Yeah.
Say the things that you do and do the things, you know, kind of crap, you know, ridiculous stuff like that.
Yeah,
because
facts.
they're used to being, you know, abused by other people, and so I don't blame them for that. I don't, because I know the feeling. I had bad relationships back, friendships, and you know, so I've come to peace with that term, you know.
Yeah.
So I understand when people automatically judge me when they don't know me, Rolla.
Yeah.
So I understand. Because my mindset is they're either going to accept me or reject me, and that's their business.
So has anything about hiking taught you anything about yourself?
Basically stuff like I just told you.
Yeah.
It really just shows me I can do things that I never thought I could do before. Like going good distances, handling the elements, and stuff like that.
So you become at peace with oneself.
Yeah, because my depression was so bad where, I mean, like when my mom passed away,
yeah.
I didn't leave the house for almost like 2 years.
Wow.
So you became like an introvert?
Pretty much.
I forgot that I interviewed him here, and what he said was some pretty deep stuff. I asked him, so what did you learn about hiking? And he said it helped him with his depression. It helped him cope with his mother's death, and it's just...
So anyway,
was it hard?
Forgot all about that.
Because me and my mom were really close. I was close to my dad, but not as
much as your mom.
No.
Yeah, I feel the same way about myself. I'm more closer to my mother than I am to my father.
So when my mom left, part of my, you know, my soul left with her.
Yeah, pretty much. Yeah.
And I had to find it again.
I know that you mentioned your mother and your father passed away 6 months from each other.
Yeah.
How impacting was that at the beginning? And how do you cope with it now, or how do you?
Well,
and does hiking help?
In the beginning, I was suicidal. I was suicidal for a very long time.
Okay.
I took several attempts.
Wow.
So yeah, it was pretty rough. It's not an easy thing to talk about, but I like to get it out.
Yeah.
You can't keep things in.
Of course. I'm the same way.
But yeah, it was hard. Cause see, I had to go through the death process twice with both parents within 6 weeks of each other.
Yeah.
Both my parents had different types of cancer, different kind of levels of cancer.
What type of cancer was your father
My
had?
mom just had lung cancer, and my dad had a rare type of melanoma that got.
Oh yeah, in the middle of the head.
Yeah.
Oh,
That got behind the eye, went all into the.
Wow.
Got all the way to the spine and everything. Just
wow.
Once it got to the spine, that was it. Smoke mainly, and the hard thing with my dad was he was this giant of a man, 6'2", you know, fishing, hunting guy. You know, you're a man's man.
Yeah.
And to see him in that final condition was just horrible. He was weak. And he couldn't walk. He was like helpless. And I had to go through that twice.
And it's such a small span too. And you're still not over the first one with your mom, and then your dad. It happens to your dad, and you're like,
Yeah. No, my mom went last after.
yeah.
She just gave up after he had.
They say that, like, I remember one woman died, and then her mother died shortly after. Remember that? I don't know if you saw that on the news. But they said, like, that she had suffered from, like, broken heart syndrome or something.
Yeah.
It was some actress, I don't remember, but her mother passed away, like, right after that, like, about a month or two. But she was just so sad she couldn't deal with it.
So yeah, coming out here, we all have our little inner demons we fight every day, you know?
Yeah.
And it's just how we deal with it. It's how we make it. You either give up or keep going, you know? You ever seen a Shawshank Redemption, the movie?
Yeah, oh, hell yeah.
Either get busy living or get busy dying.
Yeah.
That quote. Morgan Freeman says that.
Yeah.
Get busy living or get busy dying.
Wow. That's so powerful there, you know?
Yeah, when you really think about it, because when I really actually started thinking about that movie quote, and it just, the deeper you get into it, it's cool. Get busy living, get busy, or get busy dying. So you have two choices.
And it can only be one. You heard that?
You have two roads. Now, that one road may be the easiest one, you know, the one where people think suicide is the answer to. I think that's the easy road. Oh, all my problems will be gone. Nobody will have to worry about me anymore. Kind of stuff like that.
Yeah.
Or you take this road. It's going to be a harder road, but there's so many positives and accomplishments.
So there's a light at the end of the tunnel.
You can, if you go further enough,
and seek it.
Don't just go a short way on your path and be like, is this all life is? No, you've got to take the entire road. You have to take the entire path to get to what I think is the key to enlightenment, happiness, or whatever you want to call it.
Yeah. Wow, you just said a lot of deep stuff.
Yeah. Yeah, I think like that.
So has this hiking helped you? Because I know you mentioned for years, like, even to this day, I'm sure there are days where it's hard for you coping with, you know, the fact your parents are gone. But is there times where this hiking sort of helped you deal with those things?
Well, of course. Deals with everything. Deals with being alone, all kinds of stuff. I'm human. I get all that kind of stuff. I mean, I was diagnosed with a major depressive disorder in my teens, so.
Wow.
But and chalk on the anxiety disorder that I have still. I have these things; they don't go away. So, but the hiking does wonders for me. I've been able to build better friendships with people, and that's really a blessing for me.
Am I the only person that you've ever took hiking before?
No, I've taken that before. Yeah. I just wanted to take you so you could do your YouTube.
Yeah, of course.
Document my top.
Well, I definitely will be doing more of these hikes with you, man. Or even if I come out here by myself. But it's always good, I guess, to go with someone, you know?
Yeah. Yeah, if you come out here by yourself, it's another different experience for you.
Well, yeah, because everything is, like, gives you time to think on your own.
Yeah.
So it has its pros and cons.
So yeah, I encourage you to take this path on your own and see where it leads you.
And ever since he told me that, I became obsessed in hiking and nature trails. That's why you see I have so many videos. Look, I'm in Dallas, White Rock Lake. I'm in White Rock Lake again, Bonnie and Clyde's gravesite. The infamous bank robbers are from Dallas. I got that on there. Bonnie Parker's gravesite. Lake Grapevine, Katie's Woods. Big rock formations. National Vietnam War Museum in Mineral Wells, Texas. Texas Civil War Museum in Fort Worth. Sam Houston statue in Huntsville, Texas. TP Hill. I went to a snake museum. This was the one at Grapevine Mills Mall that I went to. hiking at Huntsville State Park, Lake Mineral Well State Park, rock climbing. I have those videos as well. The inside the National Vietnam Museum, we can see the booby traps and all kinds of cool stuff during the Vietnam War. You know, Texas Fort Worth stockyards, casino travels, the Baker Hotel, Ghost Adventures was at the Baker Hotel. Spiritual lanterns, night driving in the Kemah Boardwalk with a former first responder that was appointed to the Bill Clinton administration during his tenure as a governor for the state of Arkansas. And so he tells you a lot of stories about Bill Clinton. You check that one out too. That's another good one. Windham Hill, Dallas County Nature Preserve. That was July 4th of the 22nd. On July 4th, I was actually hiking while everybody was lighting fireworks. I trust you enough to give you my number. Well, don't do it in the chat room. If you're going to do it, I'll comment on a random video of nothing recent. I'll write it down, and then I'll delete the message. So just let me know. Or you can comment on a video. I'll send you my number and a response, and then that way you can have it, because the trolls already got my number anyway, so it's not like it really matters to me. If they, oh, I see your number, I'm going to call you. I'm like, bro, you already have it. So I'll just, give it to you. You can comment on a video. I'll send you my number in a response, and then I'll delete the comment. So Samuel State Farm, you'll like that one. Lake Ray Hubbard in Dallas. Lake Louisville, where I'm jumping on rock formations, drone flying. Addison Kaboom Town. AT&T Stadium, Russ Pittman Park, where you see birds, squirrels, rabbits. Reunion Tower, where I'm up on a big giant, looks like a big giant water tower. You see whole downtown Dallas area. Lake Grapevine, Katie's Woods. Edith L. Moore Sanctuary, that one's a good one. Memorial Park Bike and Hike Trail. Sea Life Aquarium at Grapevine Mills Mall. That's the great ghost hunting with Travis. That's a good one where he tells stories about what was it, the legend of the Lady of the Lake. Another folktale story, whatever. But you'll like that one too. Go lay down on the bed. So yeah, there's a lot of this one's the Sea Life. I'll click on that one. But yeah, Chris Clancy is a very good guy. He had 2 strokes just recently this year. And so it's inhabiting his ability to move, and and his health is kind of declining. So, I just hope he gets better, man. That's all I can say. It breaks my heart, which is another reason why I stress about my health so much, and I've started eating correctly and stuff. I started fasting, the intermediate fasting itself. I've lost 25 pounds, got my blood pressure down. Nothing is worse than having health problems as you get older, because once you have all these health issues, blood pressure, stuff, sciatical nerve pain, back pain and stuff, it just only gets worse. And then if you eat like shit, it catches up to you. It does. And the intermediate fasting has changed my life. Like, I got tons of energy. I'm not pre-diabetic anymore. My blood pressure is back to normal. I've lost some weight. I'm like more effective on the job. I'm more alert. I'm more fast at my job. And a lot of employees have asked me, how are you not tired? How are you just running around circles around everybody? And it's not affecting you. I have no pain in my knees anymore, no pain in my feet. Everything. I literally can jog. I'm like, literally can jog. I've like never been able to do that in years. And I can actually jog now. It's an amazing feeling. So I encourage people to do the intermediate fasting. It really is a life changer. I will leave it at that. But anyways, let's go ahead. This is Sea Life Aquarium at Grapevine Mills Mall. See, there's me walking around in the aquarium. So you can see all the different types of fish they have there. Sea life, marine life. See? It's real cool. It's like Finding Nemo, you know? This is at Grapevine Mills Mall, by the way, in Dallas. This one here is ghost hunting. I did this one with Travis. Look, we're actually parked at, and this I think this was taken I want to say 4 years ago. Yep, 4 years ago. I want to say this was when I was on vacation. Yeah, August 30th, 2021. That was 5 years ago. Boy, that time is flying.
Also, the legend of a ghost called the Lady of the Lake. She drowned on White Rock Lake, and she used to appear out here. Like one night, some people basically a couple was sitting here at the lake, and they basically went to leave and put their lights on, and they saw a lady in a white dress, and she walked up and said, basically, "I'm sorry to disturb you. Could you take me to this address on Gaston Avenue?"
Okay.
One of them was Oak Cliff. There's like two separate stories, but one of them is kind of on Gaston Avenue, and they'll take her to this address. Like she'll go up and sit in the back seat of the car, and she'll say, "I need to get back to my family." And you get over there and it's the address, and next thing you know, she disappears, and there's like a wet seat back there. And then the people, you'll go up to the door, knock on the door, and somebody answers, says, "Oh, that was my daughter that drowned years ago."
Oh, shit. And what was the other story you were talking about?
Supposedly there's two. She drowned in the lake from a sinking in the boat.
Okay.
And then there's another one that was basically that her and her boyfriend got in a big fight, and basically their car flipped, and either flipped or basically, went head into the lake.
So allegedly, this is the area.
The boyfriend basically survived, but the girl, she drowned, from what I heard.
Okay, wow. Is he still allowed to tell the story?
No, probably not.
Okay.
Oh, shit. Well,
they did say in 1989 that what was his name? The guy on the Eagle, I forgot his name.
I wrote it down.
They did a seance out here for the girl, and apparently got in touch with her spirit and got her to the light.
So it was in this area where she drowned.
Yeah. So supposedly she don't come out. It was Russ Martin. My bad. It was Russ Martin.
Yeah.
Of KEGL 97.1 The Eagle here in Dallas, for a rock station. They had a psychic come out here and do a seance out here. So yeah. I mean, I've talked to people. I've been out here late at night, even on Halloween, and never.
Have you seen anything or heard anything? But what's this bridge right here? Where does that take you?
It takes you. This is the trail. It's the White Rock Trail.
It's the White Rock Trail, people. All right, well, we're going to go out here and we're going to check out this area. The legend of the Lady of the Lake, right?
Yep.
All right, well, Travis knows this area better than anyone else, and it's going to be dark, so you guys don't be upset, all right? Okay. Anything like that, Travis? And it gives me chills just thinking.
We're walking in the pitch black dark
Yeah.
at the lake.
You want to go in here?
Yeah.
Okay.
That's it. That's TP Hill. That's where all like the sailboats are at. People go sailing.
Hopefully it won't be a real windy day.
Nice.
Man, that's my brother's name is Josh. Dude, holy shit. This one right here is Reunion Tower.
Reunion Tower, Travis.
Me and Travis were here 4 years ago.
Train station?
November 23rd, 2021. It's almost 5 years ago.
Wait, what? Say it again? Yeah.
I'm trying to take you to the top.
Of Reunion Tower.
This is the top of it. So you can see the whole Dallas area.
Look at that.
You can see all of downtown Dallas from there, bro. They even got a restaurant side of there too. But hey, just to let you guys know, like Mr. Boston, if you want to check this out, go to my channel and go to hikes or on playlist. You see over 67 different hikes that I've done. And that's just the ones I recorded. That's not even the ones that I didn't record. But anyways, I'm in this video because I am on 14%. That means my phone's going to die. It's going to cut off. So I'm going to go ahead and charge my phone. And I'm going to save your number on here and definitely shoot you a text probably in the next 30 minutes. I got to take a big-ass shit. And, man, 3 hours. Can't believe it. Go to the top of the building in Boston when you come. Oh, definitely, man. I'm definitely going to shoot you a text. You'll see a 281 number, 281-650 number on there. And that'll let you know that's me. And I'll definitely hit you up, man. But I'm going to go ahead and end this stream. And let me go ahead and charge this phone